everybody does the when people are like, oh, I don't got a witness. I'm like, what you do? And then one more, I think his appellation was Mustafa. He was like, oh, he did a video on YouTube and sent me the video. And that's where we got the whole.
And you kicked it off.
Do a YouTube video and be like, yeah, do your YouTube video, then send your paperwork in, and then just send us the link to your video, and then you have your witnesses. And not only are we witnesses of it, so too is the whole world. And that's your first public notification. That's the status correction. And that was just the Moor who was like, I don't know nobody around here. That's the Moor. You know what I'm saying? Even though they walk all over the place, they just ain't nationalized and they're not in a proper person, which is the only difference.
I never found a competent person to do this with, and I've been riding around with it for 3 months. So I said, I'll just hold on to it. I'm going home, and if I'm lucky, I'll get there on a day that Taj has class.
And you was there.
Hey,
on the day Taj had class.
Divine. I was sitting right back to the man who brought me here.
Oh man, so Robin made me put y'all online today. I was going to put Facebook on in the icebox today. I'm just playing.
This will be your last time coming with me. You hear me?
Well, what you do?
I just want her to listen.
Huh?
I just want her to listen and behave.
I know that's right.
You know what? You know what the Chinese do?
So act like you want school and you're going to get the certificate, okay?
You know what the Chinese do? They let their children run till they're 5. And at 5, that's when they bring the hammer down.
That's still too early if you ask me, but
Well, not so much, but that's when they make that. That's when you become more aware of things, and at that age you begin to get your memory of things clear. So that's when they start putting them in school and teaching them and having them learn manners and sit down and be quiet.
I'll teach them that when they can understand it. I know, from the time they come out like this.
We go straight to the belt though. We hyperactive. We go straight to the whip. Oh man, did I get the
well, you gotta keep in mind you had colonized mothers beating you, and it was beating you based on what they learned under subjugation.
That's my second grade.
We never really. It's just our life was different. We didn't have to beat our children.
I tell people now, I say, you see these. When I was growing up, Albion was like in the back. I said, do you notice they're getting puffy now? I said, you know why? They had 400 years of forcing our women to milk them. Feed them. All that.
But it's also because they eat well now.
and they don't smell like
they eat quite well.
And they don't smell like wet dogs anymore. They don't eat that well. They don't know anything about greens.
No, what I mean is they went from. No, what I mean is that they went from 1 meal a week to 1 meal every 6 hours.
Y'all stop eating
They
cheese.
just eat a lot now, huh?
Yeah, that's what they doing to my son.
Which one? Oh, for the nationality paperwork?
Yeah, I got to take it to my son.
Mm-hmm.
Brother up there.
Yeah. What is it?
That's 2 out of 5. I'm gonna get the other children.
I know that's right. You had dinner, but like, oh, this is how you get your babies, right? You be like, oh, we're gonna have a family dinner today, and this is what I'm making. And then as soon as they come in, they be like, oh, we're gonna get some good food, right? And then you got a table over there. Go sign that documentation real quick before we go. That's how you get your. I'm telling you, that's how you get them. They be like, Mom, what's this? Just sign it. I ain't got time for you. Just sign the document. Y'all gotta do that. Y'all gotta be like, oh, you just signed the nationality paperwork. You don't want it. You know what I mean? Sometimes we gotta do that. Like, I am fortunate only to have had my children later and found this out before they had choices. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're babies. They all are nationalized. As opposed to now, you got 30-year-olds who you've raised in this social paradigm, and now they looking at you like you crazy, because any rational being would look at mommy like she was crazy. Woman, you just raised me 20 years, beating me for not going to school, beating me for not going to church, beating me, doing all this stuff. Now you trying to tell me I gotta do something whole way different? Of course you're gonna get that. It's hypocrite. Expect it.
My sister's the hardest
just knock them over the head with the knowledge. That's all you can do.
Prove it.
My daughter came first.
And then I'm going to say, now what's your problem? Get yourself out of that situation before I have to put your land and my first cousin's land in my trust to keep
It ain't no before. We should be doing it. Title up everybody in your tribe's land.
Yep.
And that's one document.
He's still a Catholic.
What? They rule out. What is a deed? You asked, do you have to have a deed? Let me finish. You said you have to have a deed to the land to put it in your
debt
trust.
pledge, isn't it?
It's a debt.
That's a mortgage.
Because I put my mother's house in my trust.
No, that's Megan and
Yeah. Did you find the coordinates of the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put it on there.
They can't say that. Good. That's it. I got so much I got so much stuff I got to put into the trust, and I gotta find out how to do it. But initially I have to do this first. Because I'm going to my county and they gonna hate me. See, my county is the county that the 9th president of the United States is from. You know who that is? Georgie boy. George Washington. Well, he's the 9th of the 10th. Appointed. George. See, my county is George Washington's birthday. And when I snatch my land out from under them, they gonna hate me because I'm gonna wake up a whole lot of more in my county.
You have to.
I'm from.
And it's your responsibility. It's everyone's responsibility.
I'm from the original slave area. My little town is called Kinsale.
We're gonna have him doing story time with the Moors, y'all.
Kinsale.
Because he loved to talk. I told you the Moors love to talk. We love to talk. And I love to listen. Because if I could listen, right, I would be eating right now instead of talking.
They want to keep raising taxes on our land because we live on the water.
Because it's all about the doctrine of, dang. That me?
No, that's
Oh, it's all about the doctrine of discovery. They ain't here to play house with y'all, even though y'all playing house with them. I ain't gonna go there. They here to take your wealth. And you playing house, mother maid. Well, not you per se, but Moors are sitting here playing house with the darn colonizers. Don't realize why they suffer.
They want to tax you, then they want to put interest on the tax and interest on the interest.
It ain't about that.
And I'm gonna cut it all off.
So here's your two.
Cut it all off while I'm
You need
watching
to do
them.
your declaration. And I'll tell you.
and
Let
lean
me
the
tell you
brand
how
new
these
courthouse.
Moors come. And I'll be like, they look just like the one that was there last week.
The one you was talking to, that I put I gave him the number. This was taking you from North Carolina.
L, say it again. Say it again.
L-E-V-A-R.
LeVar.
LeVar.
Ah, so what's your appellation gonna be? The L's gonna be in the front. What's gonna be at the end? All right, there we go. I should need to hear that. It's long.
But it's not doing it like the regular.
Damn, we're home, bro.
I know that's right. We
It's rough out there in the cold, lady.
it be
Come
rough
on, get
as
warm.
heck. Yes, you do.
I was on. I used to watch these First Amendment auditors. They'd take the camera, go to the police station, and do the police stuff. And Taj popped up. I'm like, where does brother come from? Let me see what he's talking about. I was like,
Make sure you show them how to fill it out.
Okay.
oh. Hello, ding ding. Everything came into focus.
Everybody else is good. Everybody's nationalized here, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's a Moor.
Yeah.
Declare to proclaim. What? Yes, you are a Moor. Shut your face.
More or less.
More or less.
More than
All right,
less.
so let's
put
see
it like
what. More or less. I'm looking for the file. Ooh, the file for you. All right, what's this? This is what's in here? Moorish American Consulate. MAC. UCC1 financing. And this is the one that I did.
They was like, what is that noise?
Is that the most recent? Let's go into that. This is the one I know.
Whatever that class was downstairs on the right.
Come up like that down there.
I'll put it in the because that. All right, so got the corporations. There's another concept.
I want to tell you one funny thing about searching for my last name.
I'm gonna find the one that has. See if I can find the right one. That's the one. I'm just gonna put it where you don't gotta go look for it. It's gonna be just like that. Right.
It's love, bro.
How are you?
All right. I got the information.
There you go. So as soon as you open it,
And
it's the
my
first
wife
file
is
you see.
messing around
Affidavit
with my
of
phone. I
UCC
wanted
Morgan.
to do something.
There you go.
And she eliminated it. My accident was my
Perfect.
So I gotta get it from the kid.
Robin, can you move out the way?
Hey,
Uh-huh.
should I get my first bank link?
Awesome. That. Let me tell you, Tiger be putting like 1,000 documents with it. Anybody else need nationality identification order form?
Citizens Financial Group Incorporated by Citizens Bank.
I'm scared to give you one because she be putting me to work. I be feeling like her ward. I be
God,
feeling like
would you
she
ask
my
me back?
ward.
I wanted to ask you that.
I give her this. I got 20 darn things.
You can put some documents with you.
Sharon.
Oh, I did. Here, look at it.
Okay.
Who? Which one?
I got 3 because I'm gonna mail them out. Let's go.
And I'm gonna take the photos because I don't know where your photos be freaking running off
Yeah,
to. I be like, I don't have no photos. I'm gonna sit here and tell everybody who is in pending status because I ain't got no freaking photos. In the signature pages.
I need a red stamp. I left my stamp. Can I use your red
What's a
stamp?
red stamp? Don't
Cool.
know. Yes, here's one.
You can have mine too.
Give a red stamp.
You
Oh
can
yeah,
have
can I
all-
borrow
Where
that?
we at? Oh, I guess I can go into here.
What happened to the rest of my stuff? You must have moved it
Here
on.
you go. Oh.
It's all right.
Thank you.
We'll find it.
Alright. I don't know what I'm talking about. Where everybody at? Everybody on lunch this Saturday? Alright.
What's item number 3?
Number 3, I've been
Well, that's
trying
the
to
regular
hold
one.
out on putting
That's
number
not the
3.
one
Cause
with
this
the
is this was law
It's
where
everything plus the
y'all be missing stuff when Taj be talking about it. I'll be swearing y'all be missing it. Because yesterday he talked about
I was probably nodding.
plus 20
when
pages.
I got a little
It's
tired.
expensive.
Yeah.
you wanna get out the way? Robin trying to get hurt over here. He talked about, I'm only using this because this helps y'all understand UCC agreement, which is this and this tied to the Constitution, tied to the treaty, right? See, look, she was just gonna walk by like, look at that nonsense right there. They saw you on the camera when you did that.
Can I use one of these chairs? Can I use that chair?
So you got your laptop. So this is pretty much where we go. When you have your nationality ID card, right? Y'all gotta know how to utilize it. And you gotta know this is your proof of your status. Your nationality identification card is your proof of your status. And anybody who, especially who's foreign, who has no status of their own because they hypothecated their own platform, or destroyed it. When you show them your nationality identification card and they refuse to accept or acknowledge what that means, you have to take this from them through this process. And that's just step 1 to the violations for them to get back into alignment. You stop the business, right? You stop the business. You say, okay, if you want to sit here and act like I'm not sovereign to Morocco and you're not standing on Morocco and you want to use your hypothecated platform to say that this is the so-called United States of the United States and that that's a country and my nationality ain't going to be recognized, well, you're in a violation. You're in violation to the contract and treaty law, which is the only thing gave you lawful standing to do business here as well as to be here, right? So that's why the lien process makes sense. That's why the lien process is your first remedy to get them to redirect and to get back in alignment. Because when the liens effectuate in about 90 days, everything shuts down for them. If they're not going to do what they need to do to get back in harmony, because what are some of the language in the liens talk about? All right, you're not going to be charging more for their own stuff. You're not, and when we present our nationality identification cards, you're going to honor those. You're not going to establish bill of attainders. You're not going to be billing our people for their own resources on their own land. That includes rents, that includes mortgages, that includes water, that includes electricity, that includes food. And until you get back into alignment, we're going to stop your business. So we're going to shut you down. And this is the part where Prophet Nobuju Ali said, industry going to grind to a halt. Why is it grinding to a halt? Because the sovereigns who own it, it's going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down until you get into harmony. And some of you are not going to be able to get into harmony because you've been such a fraudulent venue and mechanism for the Spanish Inquisition. We're going to leave you completely out of business, meaning you're not going to come back. Right? Well, so here's the part where people got to understand the United States is a service corporation. They're up for grabs. That corporation to do business is up for grabs to any other international community that wants to take it. Guess who won it? Russia. Guess who won it? The Manchurians. They want to come here and make things beautiful for you Moors, but y'all fighting them in those Chinese restaurants. They here to support you. They here for the same reasons the Albions is here to do business. Only difference is they're in harmony. Got to deal with the black issue, just like we got to deal with it. Everybody's dealing with all these Moors who are nobles and heirs to the land acting like monkeys. They done totally did a role reversal. Acting a complete breach of trust, breach of honor, breach of nationality, every goddamn thing you can think of. Right? Our people acting that way. That's the first step, take the business. So when they say they don't acknowledge your nationality, what they doing? What activity are they doing?
Constitution.
All things that harm.
Constitution.
Oh, I forgot. Thank you for that correction. Constitution. Or somebody ain't get a double page. Oh, you just, okay. So, they're creating this.
Okay.
Treason. Because they're acting as if the very nation that recognized them and gave them a standing in any type of lawful governmental capacity is the Moors, who they're sitting here now trying to reject because they want to uphold the what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Black codes, Christian black codes. That's what I'm looking for. They want to hold up Christian black codes because under Christian black codes, they so-called sovereign. Under Christian black codes, under that so-called white status. So they want to hold you to that. Therefore, they want to deny that. Creating this, which is why they have the possibility of going through this, hanging for the treasonous activities by not recognizing it as the sovereign it is. So when you go into Walmart, when you go into Wawa, when you go into Comcast, Verizon, the electricity companies, and you tell them, look, I need you to go fix these lines over here, and I need you to give me what I need. And if they send you a so-called bill under a straw man name, because they're like, oh, let's try to get them real quick. Let's see if they really know what they're talking about. And they send you a bill to your nom de guerre in the mailing location, and they try to keep referring to you as that. That's also denying your nationality.
And what if they said, if you do the what am I looking for? You know the bill thing. What I'm looking for, saying, and you still
to all corporations document.
And they okay, well she's not going to pay, but we want to turn off our lights. What can that possibly happen?
Yeah, they've done it. They've done it. I can tell you they've done it. Running a Jenny right now. Running a Jenny. Y'all have to have alternatives. We're Moors, right? Mm-hmm. So if you want to still make those extortions, make them, but at the same time, make them under threat to arrest coercion because you want your lights on. But no, there's alternatives out there: solar power, generators. You have so much wealth of information, you're just utilizing it to your detriment in these corporations that are sending bills of attenders out to all of us. We're working at the same buildings on the same thing, right? So if they sit here continue to deny it, what process did you? If you sent the to all corporations, stating your status, right? You sent that document along with a copy of your nationality and documents and nationality name declaration and your judicial proclamation, and you sent a copy of your nationality card ID, and they're still gonna send you this blanket form from their so-called legal department talking about this isn't an acceptable form of payment. What's your recourse?
LIEN.
Everybody that sends you anything that's in contrary to constitutional law, that's referring to you as that nom de guerre. So you see, I did a video earlier this week talking about why you lean the straw. Did y'all watch that? Nobody watched that video? Didn't hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, Janae saw
Why
it.
lean?
Because people don't understand what a lien is.
They don't understand what a lien is, and they don't understand that darn straw, why that straw man and that social security number was even established and created. Because it's a transmitting utility, it's a corporation. With an establishment date just happens to be the same day you were born. And you're answering to it, not even realizing that that's not you, because it's not even in proper English, because you went to their schools and they the ones told you, oh, it's not a difference. Because when you go into the classrooms, remember they used to have little signs for you? When you, the first day of school, they used to have the signs. In that time, they used to put it in at least proper English. At least proper English. Now they probably put it in all caps and got it computer generated. So they be like, oh, go sit over there. But if you look at their roster, it's all caps in the roster. So when we get those documents coming in the mail, that's mail fraud. Pardon me. And we have to rebut it with our claim. And our claim is our nationality card. You can send your documents, but the nationality card should be sufficient. So that's one page. You got to send a name declaration and the judicial proclamation. But why not? Send it all. It's just more public notification as to your status, right? And they deny you send them this. This is why we want to not to have access to the transmitting utility. Because every time you go and establish to get certain processes and to get certain services, they tapping into your estate, giving it to their little babies. That's why they going to Yale and Harvard. And it just came out to Yale and Harvard that they was just accepting people who were ignorant and stupid as hell just because they were paying. We already knew that, because when you go and work for these corporations, they up in the big room and they ain't doing nothing in there. They sitting in the so-called CEO office just in meetings. Let me tell you, that's all they do is have meetings all day. They get nothing done because they got us there. They got the Asiatic woman as the assistants and all of them. And she thinking she's arrived, thinking she's all Becky. Got her feeling good because Olivia Pope on Scandal making her feel good, or all these other hosts of shows where, you know, black women get away, Stella. All these different shows that make black women feel good about their subjugation and the fact that they deliver all their heirs there. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. That's why we got daughters missing all over the continent. All over the continent, and ain't nobody alarmed. Well, mine's are sitting right here. Where's yours? Because we give them nothing. And we got to take ownership for that. When we raise our daughters and our sons, we give them nothing to prepare them for the world. I ain't talking about even for like the communities that they live or domicile near. I'm talking about they can't compete in any venue. And they got so-called the best education. Can't compete. And we wonder where they at. And we wonder why they over there hugging up with Becky or John. Wonder why they jumping outside of their own nation. Well, we already pushed them out there. We've already accepted that. And we got to realize that those activities that they're in is because we've pushed them into institutions where you got Albions over here, you got all types of people. But if you go to Manchurians teach and educate their own people, all other nations do that. Only place you see where two separate nations are together is under the Christian black codes with the blacks and the so-called whites. Of course they want to integrate into your home. You own everything. Of course they want you to date Becky versus your own nation. Because they want access. Pocahontas effect. On both sides. Don't matter who you dating because you still ain't gonna have access. Because those Moors ain't letting nobody in that ain't poor. And I don't feel no way about having this conversation because it's about natural law, y'all. Don't feel bad about it. How you walking down the street with Becky or John and you got these Asiatics that need your help and need your support. You ain't taking care of yours. You taking care of theirs. And we're all doing that in these corporations. Because the corporations are only existing to be a benefit of the nation, but yet you're using it under subjugation. And we got to come to grips with that, and I feel all emotional about it and get all mad. It's the reality. We're not saying that there's no place. If you want love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and you ain't violating this, and when we give you this, you acting in right, you acting in honor, we're good. Still gonna go down. We're still going down to the plantations because we don't want to in our communities. Because our children need to learn our culture and not be confused with what they are trying to hypothecate onto us because they want to continue to steal our estate. Our babies need to be able to run down the street and not get kidnapped. They need to be able to travel from one end to our continent all the way to the other and not be molested by highwaymen, bandits who don't even have a status here. We need to have access to our buildings so we can stop the genocide of our nation. And I'm going to make apologies for that, Moors. I posted a lot of stuff yesterday. Y'all probably thought I had a glitch. I didn't have a glitch. I wasn't glitching. I was trying to let y'all know other people was glitching. Anyway.
Is there any more of your coffee in there?
Of course there's coffee. I never get... You try... Really?
No, I only gave to you every week. I asked for a little bit and she won't like go into a whole 10-star all-studded event.
You see her walk by to our front like she ain't doing shit. Dang! Can't drink my coffee. You need to be drinking that damn water. She got a big old aqua water. I gotta sip on my coffee because shucks, I walked here today, right? Well, as soon as it gets warm outside, y'all don't understand the joy that comes inside of me. Our new season's coming. Our new year's gonna be here on the 20th. The mama's about to wake up and get the busy. But if y'all don't give her nothing to get the busy, what she gonna be doing? And how you gonna keep her busy? Cause she only looking for her baby to tell her what to do. Like, oh mom, check this out. City Hall got a bunch of hypothecators in there. I need you to kill. I'm about to say kill. Did I just say that? My mind went there. I need you to get rid of all those people in there. I might have meant that. I might have meant that to a degree. I ain't gonna front. Because that is part of our genociding of our nation, and I'm not gonna make excuses for that. Neither does law. It is what it is. So answer me this question. Do y'all realize? Yes, we need our building. I got course corrected. We need that big building because we have way too many Moors to be in little buildings like this. We need to have rooms for everything. Like we can have the land acquisition here, Moorish revenuing. We can have the UCC. Oh yeah, those corporations down here ain't acting right. Where's the UCC team? Right? Has anybody leaned up Planned Parenthood like I commanded? I ain't even gonna ask like said I asked. Yo, I commanded y'all to damn lean Planned Parenthood last week. Did y'all get that done yet? Who did it? Raise your hands in the virtual world. I know because somebody did it. I know y'all did. Point. Because we need to stop the genocide. Only reasons why our babies is being aborted is because they don't realize they're the wealthiest people on the planet. And because they getting piecemeal their resources by people hypothecating and giving it to their heirs to do YouTube videos all day. Because that's all my babies be trying to watch is YouTube videos of people putting makeup on. And I be like, they waste all this time. they be having these so-called millions and millions of freaking subscribers. I do not believe that. I don't believe it. But then I have my babies watching it. I be sitting there looking like, you watching Becky? Why are you watching Becky? But I can't be mad. Where's the Moorish darn YouTubers? With the stuff teaching Moorish science. You know what? My daughter's probably gonna be one of the first babies with a Moorish tube telling y'all not Negro back and colored. But y'all stop denationalizing us. We heirs to the vast estate. Why am I going to Walmart and I'm supposed to be going to what's that, Nordstrom?
I'm supposed to be making my own.
That too could do that as you wanted to, but I need to learn how to do that too. Lost
The
it.
show that you did on Thursday, I think it is. Can you see that on YouTube?
What show I do on Thursday? Because I forget things.
Yeah,
Wasn't
the
it?
lean.
The Lost.
About the liens.
I did it on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
That's how I found my
It
way
actually
here.
got let's see.
She said the name of this.
It actually has a lot of views so far.
Yeah.
I was surprised how
You-
quickly it
you
got
put
up there.
out
I
the
think
name.
because it was STRAWMAN. Everybody want to understand STRAWMAN lean
Oh, yeah.
and why they do it.
Yeah, sovereign citizen.
That's where you said. That's where you said you were in the library of Haverstown. That's why I found you. I didn't know where you were exactly.
And like I be trying to tell people, but then I don't be trying to broadcast it all the time because I don't want like 50 people to be here and be like, okay, y'all just go ahead and get on the floor at this point. But we're gonna get down to City Hall. We're gonna be down right in City Hall, and get rid of all. Cause guess who's housed down there? Who's operating in our temple? You got Philadelphia County there. You got, I don't know who else is there because last time I went there was for the Moorish flag raising the year before last. They didn't have it this year. I wonder why. But they didn't have it this year that I'm aware of because I didn't get the invite. And I got it the year before.
Once we file that, it's a notice, right? It's an actual notice, and then once you send these paperwork out, you would have to do the non-UCC, which is the actual lien.
Say that one more time because you just.
Okay, the lien is a notice. When we file, it comes a notice. When you finish up everything and you wrap everything up in that lien, then you do the non-UCC in our way, and then that's how you leave.
So when you're talking about their actual UCC1 document, you don't ever do their UCC1 document. It's all boxed, and boxing laws neutralize that spell completely. That's why you don't do their documents. That's why you do the affidavit of UCC1,
Okay.
which don't have your appellation in box, and it don't even it's not speaking to the natural being. It's speaking to corporations. And when you talk about the UCC1 lien act application, let's call it, it's saying corporation to corporation, because it's talking about name and then corporation, right? So it's talking about name, corporation, first party, creditors, all that stuff in the actual lien document that you can download from the internet. And it's all boxed. And the boxing rules, anything in the box, which is why we put the non-care in the box, because that doesn't exist. That's why we put the so-called state in the boxes and the different things in the so-called mailing location, because it doesn't exist. So if you're filling out their corporate forms, you're denationalizing yourself by calling yourself a name, and that name is specific to corporations. Unless you cross it out and you know how to completely fill out a document. But by the time you cross out all the stuff, you done might as well create an affidavit. Same too with the so-called reservation of this room. I'm just telling you, you stop filling out their forms. Create your forms, because if you know anything about contract law, you can literally tell them on a piece of paper and write it all out. Just as long as you sign it, date it, that stands as law. If it goes unrebutted, and they can't rebut anything because they're outside of everything, which is why they even created the corporate platform for you to be incorporated, so you can dissolve your sovereignty and align yourself under their authority, which is a privilege. You know when Taj talks about privileges versus unalienable rights? Talk about privilege. Oh goodness, did I spell that wrong? it's not by chance that lien's in the middle of marriage, just so you know. Lien is even inalienable rights. Privilege. This can be taken away this is unalienable, untransferable. You can just act like you don't have those in favor of these. But you have unalienable rights. What does that mean when you have unalienable rights? A right that cannot be liened. It has nothing over top of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Your birthday.
Meaning if somebody say, oh, you just pissed me off, I'm gonna lien you. Can't. It's lying.
I didn't know there was.
So like, I'm gonna lien you. Can't.
Oh my
It's lying. Why can't they lien you, y'all? Wow. Oh, look at you. Now you didn't. I ain't seen you in decades. You better give me a hug. How you doing? It's live. Abdul gonna sit here just go sneak up in here. How you gonna sneak up in here? You better get in front of the camera. Teach these boys some etymology. You better say hi. You better say hi. You better say hi to Tamara. Hi. I was watching House of Reawakening mine yesterday. You were like, I can't see myself. I can't. How was y'all travels?
Oh, it was wonderful.
I know. Is it cold outside still? Because it was blowing me down the street. It was like really blowing me. But it's loud. I know. Trayvon home. I'm like, oh, we gotta do a tutoring session today. It's loud. It got me all. Ooh, I should make them get up here. Come on, Abdul. Let me sit down and eat my salad. It's loud. So she is from out of town.
Mecca, yeah.
Mecca, wait a minute. You all the way from
Yeah.
Really? How
How
long
long
was your
see Taj, and we were definitely gonna come see
How
you.
long was your travel?
About 12 hours.
12 hours.
Yeah.
Ooh, non-stop? How many times non-stop?
Yeah.
Non-stop.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do y'all do that?
Seriously.
12 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be like, get me out this car. I'm like, I'll meet y'all there. I'm gonna run.
To get to Willamette, Connecticut, it's 5 hours. So yeah, that's about
That's
right.
a long
New York is 2
trip.
hours. You're gonna drive. You wanna hit it. You gotta be at
We
it.
were talking about the straw man, y'all. And inalienable and privileges and nationality. Like, and I was piggybacking off of last night's House of Reawakening Minds. I didn't get all the way through. With Taj. He was saying so much lovely things, like he always does. And I got you on my to-do list from the 2 classes last week. I can't, man. When you coming down here to do some classes? At the York House. When you going to the York House?
I was the next class. I don't know what the next class is.
Excuse
I don't
me.
know what it is
I got a
either.
call. I got a call.
The York House on Oyuk Road,
Yes.
the apartment complex,
Yes.
real close.
Yeah, you right around the corner.
Yeah.
I just don't know when they have classes. How often are they?
Well, every other week, you know, because it was every other Saturday, but now it's when they can get it. There's sometimes.
Oh, because it be reserved now. People be doing it now.
Therefore, they can't get it.
That's a big room.
Yep.
They got
You
internet
know,
down
this is good.
They got internet down there?
I don't. Oh yes, the Wi-Fi.
Got Wi-Fi? That's all I need. And I can get it running. Anyway, where's we at, y'all?
Trying to be both
Inalienable.
learn how to lean straw man.
Inalienable rights.
Unalienable rights.
Inalienable rights. Right?
Inalienable rights.
And then you have unalienable rights that can't be transferred. These can be taken away, right? So that's kind of where we at. Look, y'all got me nervous. I'm like, look, I ain't used to the big boys being in the room. It got me all nervous. I'm like, where we gonna go with this? Now my spirit's all on fleek mode. All on fleek mode. So we were talking about the UCC 1 leaning up the straw. And did we get those copies yet? Where's Robin?
Downstairs at the copier. I did see someone at the copier.
It's giving her.
Yeah.
Why ain't you down there helping her,
No,
Mr.
she gets
Computer?
some help.
Oh,
gets
she
some
is
help.
from the. That is so crazy. Robin be cracking. She drank my coffee. She be cracking me up. She like my comedy relief. One of these days we gonna get the actual document. Let me ask the Moors out there. Did y'all download the UCC1 LIEN
I have it right here.
document? See, did anybody download it?
I got it right
You got it up? All right, did y'all LIEN it?
The strong?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all did it already? Where'd y'all send it?
We sent it, I don't have the information on it right now, but I had it in those deals. Remember when the Facebook page, I actually posted, it was a whole row of liens that was on the carpet?
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Y'all sent them out tax per
stayed in your
queue?
Yes, ma'am, tax per queue.
And they're going through?
Yeah.
I didn't
They-
see
they're not
any
getting
error
any
messages
returns?
yet. I haven't seen any error messages because I started to notice them. I'm sorry, I started tracking them immediately or whatever. So
And they're
everything is just
actually
saying-
in transit.
It's not even saying that, it's just saying, and it's just waiting on information. Like, so I'm just trying to see if maybe they're not gonna mess with it, and then it's just gonna show delivered or whatever, or they just send me the green slip back.
That's all you really care about is the green slips, because the reality is it depends on what part of the continent you're at, who you're interfacing with, because lawfully they're supposed to push the mail through. It's not their responsibility to check postage for anything outside of that. They're supposed to push the mail. It's supposed to go from post to post to post. And if they have any issues, they go to the UPU, but they're supposed to use their own the actual law in transmitting it, right? Because the reality is, why do we do tax per queue? Why can we do it?
How do we do it?
Because we what? Come on, somebody say something.
Because we're going.
One, you gotta think about 1933. You gotta think the fact that there's no money.
Right.
It's prepaid. There's no money.
It's inducement
What they gonna
to
talk
fraud.
is inducement to fraud. It's all of those things. So we're supposed to be able to just send our mail, because the mail was never, you never had to pay to send mail before. Technically. And there's laws out there, and Morocco is a part of those where tax per queue is allowable. And up to what? Earlier this year, everybody was sending it and having absolutely no problem.
So you have to be in
Everybody was sending it. But if you domicile near Maryland, you might have some issues. Philadelphia transportation, you might have some issues. Robin had some of her documents come back. Where else?
How do you do tax per queue?
this.
Anybody want to talk about tax per queue?
I have it.
Let's go.
I have it. On my,
Anybody really competent on tax per queue?
I have it on my phone. I just send it to you.
I
You
can
can copy it.
You want to go over it? Go ahead. Come on, go over tax per queue. Talk to the board.
Okay, I'm gonna do it based off of a picture.
Okay. Robin still ain't get back up
Just
there?
set up, it just feel out to be on camera, but I am, Israel Amaretto, so.
Okay.
Give me just a moment. You have, I know you got some dry erase markers, you have a red one?
I'm mad. But just know, with the brighter ones, they don't come through.
Oh, no, it's okay, the only reason why I wanna do it is the distinction.
All right,
this
use
part
just
of it
purple
would be-
because I don't have red.
Okay.
The pen is red.
There we go, royalty purple.
So this purple, this whole purple is on equal red. Of course, that's why.
Okay.
You put the key up there.
So here you would do the envelope. Pull this up right. Alright, so basically here in this first section, just like you would normally do any other letter, you're gonna put your name, so you put your name here, or your appellation, excuse me. I don't like putting my name in print, I prefer to write it in cursive, just because I don't wanna get twisted up with anything that I shouldn't be in, I just wanna make sure there's no break, I just like black and white, no break. Then after that, you put your title of like minister and consul.
Wait.
Then here, you do your care of address, and then you wanna make sure that you put everything in brackets, as well as the zip code as well in brackets, so you're gonna have double brackets on this one, so that way that you have everything where, you know, cause you're not in their system, and you're showing that you're not in their system with this process. And then you'll put your address, so I'll just put 7222 Joy Lane. spell the whole entire state out, because I don't even want it in abbreviation, no confusion, no anything. So I just make sure that everybody sees everything. And then when I was saying about the brackets, you got the 60649 for the zip, and then close the bracket because I want the whole entire thing in brackets. This is the boxing laws, basically. Okay. Now you want to switch over and you go to the red ink, and so here is where you want to make sure that they're aware that it's non-domestic. Without the United States, all caps. USPS International Mail Manual.
You can abbreviate the international?
Yes,
Oh, you
this
can,
be
okay,
abbreviated.
okay.
That should be okay. 741.1, 741.2. And then I just come back in black and explain what that is. So that's the marking, postage paid. And this other one is parcels without stamps. And then treat as prepaid. Okay. Another thing that you put on here, clearly my envelope is not big enough, but so let's just pretend like the whole board is an envelope. All right. Because I want to make sure everybody can see it at least. Another thing that I like to put on here, you need to put on here, is mail tampering. And then you want to kind of put on here in accordance with. Please excuse my hieroglyphics. And then you want to put in here the USC codes to make sure that that's what you're talking about. So you're backing up everything that you're putting on the envelope. So all they have to do is look at the envelope, go to the manual if they have questions, and they can look at it and they understand that it'll explain to them what they need to do. So you're just putting on here instructions for them. So it is a lengthy process, but don't worry about it. Just make sure that you have all your details so that way you're completely competent when you're filling it out and you will be totally fine. Okay? So all of these are basically Title 18 USC codes, so you would kind of repeat that 4 times. And then you'll follow up with the codes. Your first one is going to be 1341, 1702, 1703, and then 1708. All right. Then of course, this section here, and I'm just going to make a box here. This is going to be whoever your 2 is.
No.
Wouldn't matter who it was. You sent to your cousin, auntie, uncle, whoever. Doesn't matter. This is going to be your 2.
Okay.
The same thing that you did up that applies here, where you did the boxing out and the bracketing, you can do that, especially when it comes to the zip portion. It's a good thing for you to do that. But this is going to be your 2. What you did here, this is going to be your lovely 2-cent stamp. Okay? After that, you're going to put, so this is going to be lengthy. Really, when you start the process, I probably should have stated to put the stamp in the corner first. So then that way it'll help you when you're aligning all of the stuff that you're putting on the envelope. So that way it's going to look a little bit better than, things kind of being jabbered together. But if you look at this at the top of the envelope, it will probably make a little more sense. Okay, so here now, in the red, you're gonna have your tax aid computer. Postage paid.
What are you doing?
And you're gonna put the UPU on here. UPURL114 parentheses 2.2 hyphen UPURL141 parentheses 2.2. Now, after that, you're gonna switch back to your black pen. Just put a line across there. And we're gonna put the date now. I put the date in brackets because I'm using the Christian calendar year. So we know that's not right. We already know that we're saying we're sovereign, so we're gonna do everything correct. So you don't even want to, anytime it's not our traditional way, you wanna put it in brackets, period. So then you'll come back here, still all black pen. Let's just say it was March 12th, 2019. And then I even go CCY, because I want to make sure they understand that. Then again, postage paid. UPU again, UPURL, and this one's going to be 114.2.2. After that, you want to draw another line. And then this is going to be where it's coming from. Who are you? Colonial, American,
Dr. Red.
National,
Dr. Blue.
Office of Origin.
Jack, Mr. Blue.
Okay? Now that you got to that point, you want to get back to your red pen, and now you're going to do your signature. And then, of course, you know, you'll be your thumbprint. Just want to make sure we got it completely clear. No black and no gray, all black and white, right? All right, so now we're almost done, but not done, not quite. The other details that we have on ours is underneath the stamp, we want to put that date again in red. So that's where you're going to have 3/12, what is 2019.
I sent it to you.
Okay.
You got it in your phone.
And the only other detail that I don't have, and we're just going to use blue for shits and giggles. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I apologize, y'all. But this is going to be for like if you have a gold pen, okay? A gold ink pen, sometimes you can pick those up. I wouldn't try to do like an office match or anything like that because they probably won't have it. But if you go to an art supply store, they will have one readily that you can pick up. It's probably about $2-3 or whatever, and you can get a really nice one, gel ink or whatever, so you can always write whenever you want. Okay. You come to the stamp at the 45-degree angle, okay? And that's where you're going to sign your appellation with the gold pen.
Let's go.
Yep. And then, of course, after your signature, you always do your thumbprint, okay? And
Would that be in
That's
red?
in red.
That, yeah, well, no, the thumbprint, yes, would be in red. The thumbprint is always in red.
Okay.
So just always, you want a red pen, red ink pen. When you go to Office Depot, you get a red ink pen and you get that stamp because you want to every time
Put
you
that
sign
thumbprint
it.
in red up there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, so that way we can consistent. Yeah,
No problem.
yeah. Thank
No
you.
problem. So once you, I know it's a lot of details, but remember the devil's in the details. That's what's gonna make them have to send it through. If you have everything on there competently correct, then you know it's gonna go through. And I sorry for the impromptu deal here, but it would be in a better format. But this is the easiest way for you to be able to get it down. And if you have that, the red pen, the red thumbprint pad, as well as your gold ink pen, then you would have all of the tools that you need to be able to execute it properly. The only other detail that I did not tell you that is extremely important, when you're dealing with the United States Post Office, their envelopes, they have silent contracts on those envelopes, so that means that they deem that their property. Yes, I get the fact that we're sovereign. Yes, I get the fact that all this stuff is ours. But they are going to treat what they deem theirs the way they want. So you just go get a plain manila envelope, legal size, and you do this. Do you see? You don't need anything special, nothing. None of their marking's going to be on it because you just said non-domestic without the United States.
So don't use their stuff.
So why are you using their stuff? It's just, you know what I mean? We're just going to change the way we think about it. And then if you just operate with that new lens, that Moorish lens, you're going to always end up with the right example, with the right result. So just don't even worry about that. Just remember the details, slow down and execute. Yes,
I was in Staples, and they didn't have any 8.5 by 14.
got mine from a dollar store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Because
here's
they
the
have
trick
white
about
envelopes.
Staples. Here's the trick about Staples. Sometimes, because we have those in Chicago and Mecca, and they have all the envelopes or whatever by the stationery, but then if you go where they do the pack and ship, they'll have a case of those envelopes there.
Yep.
And sometimes Walmart will have them too.
Yep.
So just, if you got to, make sure you ask somebody when you're there, you know what I mean, to make sure they point that out, because they usually have them. They just don't have them in small packages. You may have to like buy a big case of them or whatever. It's like $20. But if you really think about it, all of the liens and shit that we need to do, you do need a case. So I would go on down there and get that case from the package ship or whatever. You'll probably get 100 for like $20.
Yeah.
And it's worth it because you're gonna be leaning people.
Okay.
You're gonna be using it.
So, can that information be like if you decide to make labels?
Yes.
Or
So yes,
okay.
you can do labels, and so that's something that would speed up the process. So if you do have a printer, while you're in there, you can get that sticker paper. You'll be able to load it into your printer. It'll print all that for you, and you can just take some scissors and cut them into rectangles, right? And then slap it on there. The ones that I would do that way, I would probably do it with like this whole portion. You could do the mail tampering portion. You know, if you want to save for handwriting it too or whatever, that's fine. But just make sure you remember wherever you need to sign your appellation or whatever, that's actually done correctly in red ink with your thumbprint. And then of course, you know your gold, you have to do that. Okay? All right. Anybody else got any other questions?
I heard before someone mentioned about the back side of the envelope. Do you have to put your thumbprint on the back side of the envelope as well?
Now that is something that I did not do,
Okay.
and I haven't seen anything where I've heard a couple of people mention it, but I haven't seen anything where someone said, okay, well that stopped my document from going through, not going through.
Okay.
So just make sure you do that green label. It's going to be that green label that you can get from the post office, so they're free, right? This is your land. You just go into the post office and you go grab a whole stack of them and walk the fuck out, because that's your stuff. You know what I mean? And you slap it on there, and you put your the to address on there. You put your return address on the back, and then you mark it certified mail, and you slap it on there, and you watch that tracking number that's on that document, and it's going to tell you where it's going and what happened to it. It'll give you everything. So if you just execute this process, track it, see what happens. There was another Moor that was in the consulate, Mustafa, who had his stuff, because he was the one that assisted us with this process. And so I think that his main issue was he used the postage, the USPS envelopes. But other than that, everything else should go through. So as long as you don't use their stuff, it should go through. You shouldn't have the issue. But just make sure you keep the tracking number. And another thing that I do before I put them in the blue box, I take pictures of it, right? Because you want to make every step. I don't even care if you at the box. Like literally, I wait till I got to the box and I click one, click two. You know what I mean? So you want to know. You want to make sure that you have it, so you know where it is. So that later on, you still got evidence of I tried to send it to you this way, and you guys tampered with my mail. You understand? So that's gonna be the best way. Any other questions? All right, well, I guess got to give it back to Mother.
Like, any internet questions?
Well, if you have any.
You have the question.
Yeah.
Question.
You got a
Title
question?
18, down here, the third one,
1702, 1703, and 1708.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry, my hieroglyphics are horrible.
2, 1703,
In 1708.
and then 1708.
I'm gonna let you guys have enough time to take a picture, print it out.
Right?
Yeah, and I don't want to get in the way of it.
Thank you for that.
Right?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Everything is on.
That was my notification to the so-called PA corporation.
I don't see the blank one.
The blank ones that just.
So do all those papers go with the right to travel?
You know, well, darn, he didn't went to the bathroom. I'll wait till he come back and talk about that one. Because with the right to travel process, to get the plates, I'm going to give that to David.
When you do the right to travel,
Process.
do that also, as far as the toll bridges? Like how would you?
I don't even want to erase that. I really don't. Why do you think I love this darn board? You know, this board is like, it puts everything. And then I can start here, end up here, and refer back. It's like the biggest, I love it. But I am going to see if somebody can, do we have any artsy people here? Who can create this and we can post it so people can kind of use it.
I can do that when I get home.
You
That's
can do
no
that?
problem. Yeah,
So we
that's
can
no problem.
post it so people are clear as to how to send their documents. Because like I say,
when we post it up there now, on the page?
Oh, you already got it?
I already had mine typed up like that.
No, it's good. Oh, wait a minute, you did the same thing? Okay.
It's tax at per cube.
That's
That's what it looks like.
Post it and post it on the
One
group.
page.
On the group. Post it on the group. But yeah. But the only thing you're missing is the thumbprint and the 2-cent stamp from that document. But obviously, once you do it, you're good. So does everybody have this?
I'll write it on.
I wish I had my camera. Did anybody take a good picture of this and they can send it to me? Good ones? All right, cool. All right. We do have our right to travel process with the tags.
That's what
I want y'all to get your UCC1 liens first before you do the travel.
Okay. I'm still on that page.
Still. And Robin has been having malfunctions downstairs with getting the blanks so everybody can see it. And that's why I say everybody bring their laptop so we can kind of go through it and show you kind of how to do it. And it's really pretty simple. Y'all gonna get mad at how simple it is and why you've been procrastinating on getting it done. It could be the knowledge piece on why it makes sense to do so, and the lien piece on why shutting down the violators of the supreme laws of the land makes the best sense right now. Because anytime, people like to play in ignorance when they don't want to do right. And
like they're the victims.
Right? Like, oh, I didn't know even though okay. There was a movie that I talked about. I can't remember the name of it. I never can remember the name of it when I'm in front of the freaking board tell you about this. But in the movie, it was where everybody was being numbed down by the vaccinations that they were taking these vaccinations daily to keep their emotions suppressed.
Oh,
that was one, but it was a more recent one.
Because someone said it in here and I actually went to watch
it. Was a more recent movie where they lived in a community where only one person had access to the archives. Everybody else was doped up, let's say, for the lack of a better word. And in this movie, babies that cried, they automatically euthanized. because those are people who are administering emotion as opposed to being silent. So the person that was doing this didn't know he was committing a crime. Nonetheless, he's committing a crime. He's sitting here and injecting a rod into the back of the skull of the babies when they're born that were rejected by society because they were too, let's say, emotional. And even though he didn't know he was committing murder, he was committing murder. Now, that's just like if you kill someone accidentally. You didn't know it was a crime. Is it still a crime? Yes, it's still a crime because you killed that person. And you could, and there's laws against that, you just didn't know them. Right? So we have all these laws and all these supreme laws of the land, and we're not aware of them, thinking that gives us justification to violate them. Because just like how the mother that was down in Michigan, corporate territory, was kicked out of her domicile because they were trying to not acknowledge her nationality. Who were the people who were kicking her out? We're all sons, Asian sons. Every last one of them were. And when you go down to the so-called city hall, where a lot of the hypothecation and fraudulent activity is happening, who's the first person you see? They look like me. They look like Tamara. They look like us. And we can't claim ignorance when we're also violating ourselves through the lack of knowledge of self. So we can't claim this when we're part of it. We're like in it. So when somebody said they reducing us to sin, we reduced ourselves to that. We're in it. Ain't never been out of it.
My first question to them is always what is your nationality?
To the Asiatics?
To our majestics that don't know.
And guess what they say? With pride. I'm black.
And that's when I go off. That's when I get right in them.
And then their ego gonna get involved. They're gonna be like, what you mean? I'm black and I'm proud. I have friends who I took the best care with talking, well, what do you think you are? Who are you? Who told you were that? Why was it able to stick with no facts, no history to speak of that even points to that? People can't even find anything in their brain that even gives them an answer. They're just with the blank stares. Because we've been socially engineered to believe this, and when challenged, we don't know where to go to validate it. Absolutely no place. And then that still doesn't stop them from changing and accepting their nationality because of this freaking word that has everybody immobilized. That word right there.
So with death.
That word right there. Oh my God. They will literally have exorcisms right in front of you. And you'll be sitting here like, okay, bye, Felicia. I will be like that. I'm just being honest. I'm not here to sit here and try to pull somebody up from hell.
Thank you.
God, you're supposed to be trying to get out. Oh no. Like, literally, y'all should be like stepping on each other to get each other out, but then pull them up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But what would change, what will inspire our people, a lot of our people, to activity, to declare their more nationality, is what we do.
Yes.
They have to see. They have to see.
Come on up here. Come on. I'm telling you, trying to stay over there. I'm trying to get you up here.
My sister, my heart is and they gotta see. They gotta see through activity. And then it's called bandwagon jumpers. So they'll jump on the bandwagon. All right. Unfortunately, because of COINTELPRO and SARS on our side, they have misrepresented this Moors movement. So most people think our people who are unconscious, who have heard of Moors, they think it's a religion. A group of black people, and their religion is Moor. That's misrepresentation. I blame the Moor Science Temple on that. I blame Moor Science Temple. Because Moor Science Temple has not done their job. The Moor Science Temple has not done. They have not represented this Moorish movement. 90 years since Drew Ali's transition. 90 years since his transition. There's Moorish Science Temple on this very block where Moorish Science Temples are. The block, now you're talking about the block. The people on the block don't even know what they're about.
Wow, right?
On the block. We're not talking about around the corner, 10 blocks away, 5 blocks away, on the block. That's a problem. Why does that exist?
Oh my God.
On the block now.
First thing I thought about when I got to the House of Reawakening Mind. Sitting on the other end of the block. They didn't know. Still don't know.
But one thing about the House of Reawakening Mind, is that they have a larger, a broader. So we can't. You're not going to put the House of Reawakening Mind in the same category as the Moorish Science Temple. So
They can't even be in that category.
You cannot put the House of Reawakening Mind in the same category as Moorish Science Temple.
That wasn't the intention.
No. I gotta. But people are listening, so I have to.
That's right.
I gotta clarify it. Moorish Science Temples don't have Facebook Live. You know, where 5,000 views, 10,000 views. You know, they don't have Facebook Live. You know, House of Reawakening Mind has a broad audience. Yeah. So we definitely can't put House of Reawakening Mind. There's no way to do that. All right.
And then you think about it this way, right? Think about the house, not the House of Reawakening Minds. I'm talking about the temple, right? The temples, the buildings themselves. All right. I suck at drawing. This is Moorish Science Temple. I'm just gonna put it, y'all. I don't care. 501c. How do you put the C like this?
C3.
I'm just tripping it out. Messing up my whole point. All right, so you got that building. And you got a whole list of other buildings on the block. And then you got, I always like to use them because they're the most biggest hypothecators. Then you got this big old building. Why that building bigger than that building? Why? Why you could go down the street and not even notice that's there? In every community. And they're supposed to be doing what? What's the first two? Making laws?
Act 1 of the Moorish.
And enforcing laws.
Constitution and bylaws of Moorish Science Temple.
They're supposed to be making and enforcing as their charge. That's their charge. And what do we talk about all the time? You can't claim to be a thing if you're not doing the thing for which that was even established.
Yep.
So if you were created to do this, and this building bigger than your building, are you doing anything?
I went to a, sorry, I apologize. I went to an MST for like straight for like 5 months, and I'm sitting there. First of all, it's extremely cliquish. They passing this little bowl around like church service, and they never, not one time, the whole time I was there, taught nothing about laws of civics, absolutely nothing. It was like
they stayed in the Quran, right?
It was, yeah.
They stay in the Quran. Which one? Circle 7?
Circle 7.
They said, what part of the Circle 7 did they talk about?
It's not even a specific
Right,
part.
forgot 25,
It's not a specific part. It's only when a person get up and say something, and then they'll go to that. It's not like, you understand what I'm saying? It was like...
It had no primary focus to speak upon. Right, so the point I'm trying to make is, they've allowed this to get so big, and they're so small. How can you be the place where all resources are supposed to come to and come from? That is where they're supposed to come to and come from. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Like, this building is small. They're probably renting it. And this building is large, and they ain't paying anything to them. Which is where all of the finance is supposed to go, right? Supposed to whatever, they're supposed to be paying their so-called taxes to do business in Morocco to them. Well, not the 501c3, obviously, but to the Moorish Science Temple, because it has the trust, right? It's supposed to have the trust. And all land, just like how last night Taj was talking about how when you go to the Moorish Science Temple, everything you own is conveyed into that trust. For protection, it's supposed to be for protection from all of these hypothecators and these county buildings. All these buildings bigger than this one. And that's one. And you don't see but a small group of Moors going here. All Moors is here and here to do business, to do everything. When they want to acquire land and go to the county to find out what's available, right? This is where it's supposed to be. Do y'all get what I'm saying? When we talk about land, And think about the little house. The little house for so-called. Think about this little house you want. You don't know, one, the house already yours because you claimed it and it's out there for grabs. Nobody has titled it because a corporation, let's say an N corporation, is claiming it. And the individual, the national being that's claiming that, has no status to speak of. And that status is aligned to a corporation, so they themselves are a corporation under the so-called straw, right? You go there to claim it. What they give you to claim, y'all?
Deed of trust.
They give you these things, which is interest to sharecropping, just like Todd Street Bay talks about sharecropping. Because you went there. And that building is under who? The organization. Who do the county buildings work for? Huh?
You're supposed to work for the people.
They what?
I didn't work for themselves.
We had a class on the county, y'all. We went a little deep in that whole infrastructure, which is why they all got lean.
It's the county of, which is a corporation.
Right? It's a county of a corporation, right? So this is kind of like their... Accounting. Right. The county is the accounting under the Spanish position, right? Because we go there, get our, record our deeds, and then we had another class talking about the mortgages. We did talk about that, where it talked to you about what's really going on and how they're really. We talked about that. So the point I was trying to make is that when you come and want to claim this house, there is a lawful way and a de jure way to do it. We just choose this because that's all we're given. We don't have any access to any other ways besides that because they have been holding that information. Completely holding it. You never needed Federal Reserve notes of any kind, even gold and silver, to claim that. You don't even need that because it's already yours. If nobody else claimed it, that is Moorish. Already yours. Well, we go here for the people who have, under the doctrine of discovery, claimed every damn thing. And then when you think about those little signs, I love talking about those damn signs. I think it's the funniest thing in the world. That's the realtor sign. See, ooh, it's mine right here.
Oh God.
Peak game. Seriously, like when this stuff like I walk down the street, like look at this sign. They sit here trying to claim some shit. Ain't that? But who do they work for?
Is your license?
Because they licensed. And the sheriff is in that building too. I mean, why are you going to a highwayman, a bandit, and a terrorist to get your own stuff and all you have to do is claim it illegally? And they were supposed to tell you how to do that. They have all that information, y'all. I don't know where it's at in the building. Could be in the vault. I don't know. I have no idea. But this is what this whole process and this whole platform was created. Not only to tell you who you are, teach you your culture, teach you how to get back into the constitutional fold of government so you can stop being subject to the Christian black codes. That was the purpose. So instead of mommy being carried by no true because she done got ahead, and I talked to y'all about Alice in the Wonderland. I said, y'all don't even keep how she was clicking her heels, right? She clicked it 3 times and said what? What'd she say? There's no place like home. How many times she say it? 3. She said 3 times.
Yeah.
Did she go any damn where?
No.
Yeah, it wasn't Alice.
Dorothy.
Keeping Alice in the what?
Wizard Oz.
I always get them confused, but they both saying the same thing. But yeah, the point is, she never left home. She just forgot who she was, and all she had to do was remember it and wish it, and it will be so. Same thing for you and us. We ain't ever left. We're home. That's ours. That's ours. That's ours if we want it. That's ours. Because it's on this land. Just like I was telling you before the camera rang. That's like somebody walking into your house, right? They walking in your house. Change that window. Put some new windows there. Put some surround sound. Hook you all up. Who they do that for?
You.
Why?
It's yours.
Because they came and did it in your house. My point. So do we have to recreate anything at Morocco?
No.
Why? It's already here. What we gotta do? And how we gonna do that? Huh? Y'all all start saying something different. Y'all was in harmony with that one. Y'all start saying something different. All you gotta do is be your damn self. Learn who you are. In the same way you walked out your house, you walk right back in it. And that's nationality. Y'all get what I'm saying? Yeah. Do y'all realize Robin still ain't get back? This is what I be going through, y'all.
She's downstairs. No, she's downstairs counting the.
We're supposed to be doing the UCC one leave for the freaking strawman, right?
Here, use mine.
Because I want to make sure
Use mine.
when y'all do it, when y'all claim land, can't nobody sit here and try to hypothecate it. Because the reality is, just think about Africa. How these Albions trying to claim something because you want to sit here and mingle in with them, and then you sit here and co-mingle with them, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I got here. Then they try to come and step in Christian law, right? With the black drop, with the one black drop rule, they try to sleep in that way. Ooh, I have children. I have children with an Asiatic.
There she is.
Well, who rules the Stargate?
God, come on.
We do. I ain't gonna keep banging that, and y'all sons and y'all daughters know. So just get in honor and stay out of dishonor. I'm not going to beat that. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. All I'm going to say is claim your estate, do your titles, and stop going there to validate anything you have. You just put them on notice by sending them your notifications to your documents. You're not getting them to recognize the damn thing. You're just sending it to them like, look, all right, you gotta take this one right here off your rolls, because that's mine's. And then the more that do this, the less business they have. But we can't sit here and be getting deeds. What the hell is a deed?
Action. Your action.
Huh?
Your action.
It is a deed. A deed is your action.
It's dead.
It's dead. Why is it dead?
Because you pay for it until you die.
Because you pay for it till you die. Well, the reality is a deed is what? What is it etymologically?
Well, deed function is what they do is create a constructive trust. You know, and it's an obligation. So definitely, you don't want to do the deed. You know, the allodial process is what we want to do.
Yeah.
You have the county functions that is what's called a sister's trust. That's the place they create. Because there's a trust. It's all trust. They create a sister's trust. That's the place where the instrument deed is positioned. So they create all these deeds or constructive trusts. And then these mortgages, a mortgage is a lien. There's no need for a mortgage.
Nope. Because there was never even a promise.
There's no need for a mortgage because it's a lien. They put a lien against the property. It's all colored.
It's all colored. And all you got to realize is through the allodial mortuary venue of estates, effectuating that process, which is under wraps right now with the judiciary. But there's processes that we make sure through the grid process that you get done and established first. Obviously, the first tier is what? Do y'all remember what the first tier of the grid is? Claiming your nationality, send it to the 7 locations, nationality identification card. Second tier is what? Allodial trust, declaration of trust, put it on the record, right? And then once you get those 2 done, you can just start skating. You know what I'm saying? Because that is how you're protecting yourself. And the reality is the lien of the straw man and the Social Security should be underneath the same line with the trust. Because before you want to establish the trust, choke that straw. So they can't keep tapping into your estate. Because this is what they're doing, and this is why it was even established. So they don't have to come to you to ask for it. And the reality is, if they're not going to abide by the UCC and abide by the commerce and the treaty and the Constitution, we got to box them out of all activity until they get an honor. Some of them will do it willingly. Some people going to do it kicking and screaming, but they all going to do it eventually. That's why we have to box them out. And that's what Prophet Noble Ali said, what? when industry grinds to a halt, it's going to open it back up in the favor of the Moors. Why is it going to do that? Who can stop the commerce? Only the sovereigns of the land can stop the commerce. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they sit here and talk about, oh, the liens ain't working, but yet when they try to go get anything, they're stopped in their tracks because everything that they have been trying or everything that they have been moving was yours. That's why you strangle strong. You don't own it. You just stopping it from working because. So, do we got our straw documents? Do I have a copy?
This is the paper, right? Is this the paper? The wrong one?
It's not an affidavit of UCC.
You said the master copy?
Can I have that envelope back? Thanks.
You already have one? That's why I asked you. Did you?
I was trying to tell you,
This
put
is
it
an
right there
actual.
for me, but thank you. I got it. Oh, we can get busy with this right now. You got full colors.
They come. That is such bull crap.
She took it to her.
She printed up the wrong one. Well, yeah, she printed whatever.
Tiger.
Did y'all pay for that?
This one did $15.
I'm like, can I get my stuff back? You printed the wrong stuff.
The other tire.
Huh?
I'm just gonna print it. I'm
This
gonna
one that you said they print.
Yeah, but like I said, that's a Word document, and it won't show up on a copier. The PDFs will. So
that's why you couldn't see it.
that's why they couldn't see it.
Well, then they should have said that.
But no one
instead of
told me
printing
that's
the
what they were
wrong
looking for.
document.
No one told me that's what they were looking for. That was
It's all
solved
right.
the
It's all
problem.
good. Whatever. Round of people vote, please. Thank you.
Yes, yes, we have to.
What I tell y'all to do? What I tell y'all? I ain't even gonna act like I did. Bring your babies here. I don't be saying this by accident. They know how to use computers. I'm just saying, it is not something against you. It's they know how to use computers. And they can go, whoop, 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 whoop. My daughter, just saying.
What are these for?
Huh?
What is this one for?
That, I don't know what's that. I'm gonna bring it next week.
What's the name of the?
But y'all
I had the
supposed to have
wrong
it done by
file.
then.
I had the wrong file up there. What's the name of the file you said, Ron?
It's the same. It's the affidavit of written initial uniform commercial code financing statement, fixture filing, land, and commercial land.
Oh, well, I got that in my document.
There are 3 places to mail your liens.
It's in the, it's on your Morse Council site.
It sure is.
I downloaded
Wait
it.
a minute.
Sure is.
In fact, both are up there. One for everything else, and one for the Social Security.
I can get it to, get it from
Can
my
I see
phone.
your paperwork?
Print it to my.
Can I see yours?
Can you pass that back?
If you don't need it. I don't know if I need it or not. I'm so handy one.
Affidavit for what? I had the wrong document.
She talking junk over there? Is she talking junk? I know. She talking junk?
I gotta look for it on the.
Why's your computer black?
Because I'm just turning it on.
We've been here for 3 hours.
But I haven't been. Alright, give me that one.
No. You want me walking by the camera with your little smirk on your face.
You know, it's my face.
While you,
All right, where everybody at? Everybody got they strawman lien pulled up so we can get it done. Y'all got 10 minutes because we shutting down at 2 o'clock on the live feed.
Hold on, I'm trying to see if this is the right one download.
Why didn't you bring your laptop?
I did. I was rushing this morning.
Oh my God.
Next time. These papers, this right, the one they just handed?
No, she had a Felicia moment down there.
Okay.
I've been trying to tell y'all. Y'all thought I was playing when I said y'all gonna sit in the dark room all by yourself and you ain't gonna get nothing done. I ain't lying. You be sitting there like I'll be over there in the computer getting stuff done. You be like, sure.
I'm ready to do
Leave me
these
alone,
3. I just
Felicia.
had to. I'm still trying to.
Bag,
I'll need like a
is
couple
not
minutes.
the right copy. It ain't even in order. I don't even know what page numbers is what. Hers.
No, I'm just looking at
That's
his.
a good copy.
Yeah,
That's a
this is
good one. Pass that around, show everybody. Thank you, Tiger.
That's because I made a mistake on it. I had to correct it first. But yeah, I wouldn't have brought all this. It's too much paper. It's heavy.
It's a lot of paperwork. That's why you supposed. Let me tell you, I have a cover letter to go with it, so you don't gotta sit here and attach all that unnecessary. What ain't unnecessary documentation?
Well, actually,
but I want to send them to the website and download it all.
Actually, the documentation, when you look at the lien, it refers to it. So you got to actually attach them.
Yeah, but they can go to the website and download it themselves, so you don't gotta waste a lot of trees yourself.
Okay, well.
Sorry, who we mailing the straw man lien to? Who we mailing it?
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me see if I'm pulling up on my document.
I wish I had my I should have bought my book. I'm gonna open mine.
Let me see.
You know you got to do your children too if you had them in a hospital, just so you know. Because they got the birth records too.
If they're grown and they did it themselves, we do it.
Say it again?
If they're grown and they did it themselves, Delilah, she did it, so I'm sure I should be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's your only daughter?
Yes.
Yeah, she's good, because she nationalized, so she got to do her straw man. Alright, yeah, I got it open.
No, it don't look like that.
Well, here, print this out underneath the 3 locations that you're going to send the UCC1 liens. These are email addresses that another more got. Email addresses to the people you're CCing
It don't look like that.
the liens. The first person is what?
You have a copy of the title? Got a copy of the lien?
No, that's not a copy.
No,
That's,
this is the original.
that's actually my copy. All of them been mailed out already.
I should have put that in all caps, but you know.
I wonder if this is great work.
Where's the ink?
Oh, I put it back.
Oh.
Yeah, that one's bullshit. That was mine. We got one.
Just real quick. Because I forgot.
I just want to lose it because I'm gonna need it.
Right, you don't want to lose it.
I'm getting started.
These things are getting.
When you're talking to a so-called ward and you say notice of intent to lien, you know that's notice of intent to lien. And notice to principal is notice to agent. So when you tell a so-called employee of any corporation and you say notice of intent to lien, you don't gave you notice. You don't have to tell them anything else. I just like y'all know that. So when they say, oh, you liened, but you didn't give proper notice. What's proper notice, y'all? I would let them know what that is. What's proper notice? Of letting somebody know they did something to you. Oh, that's EOM@dc.gov. Got the Recorder of Deeds, Mariel Browser, Office of Tax and Revenue. Notice that this is also on the master document. I'm just kind of going over it. This is on the master document in the section for the 2, right? So at the top of it, this is right underneath the 2, whoever you're leaning, right? Whatever so-called corporation you're leaning. And for the straw man and lien, it's Nancy. Well, it's the Social Security Administration. and she's like the administrator of that. So it's Nancy Berryhill, doing business as administrator of the United States Governmental Social Security Administration. And I got that name from the DNB. And who's the DNB? And why is Duns and Bradstreet so important?
Here you go. They offer you, see them, they offer you your...
The Dunes numbers you mean?
Yeah, you know.
That is where all so-called corporations, once they so-called register and all that other stuff, they track all that information in their so-called credit activity.
The credit activity gives you
So under their so-called stocks and bonds, like if you want to do business with, let's say, any corporation, you would go to the Dunes and Bradstreet. I used to do this in accounting to get an accounting of the validity of that corporation, and they have them in specific ranks in terms of their ability to pay their bills. So the Dunes and Bradstreet is going to have a record of all corporations, but more importantly, they're going to have their headquarters. Because a lot of corporations have multiple sites, multiple sites. And the way the so-called DNB.com does it is you have to know where the so-called headquarters are. Sometimes it's better to go to a Google search and say, okay, where the heck is the headquarters of Verizon Communications? Because they're all over the place. Where they at? If you do a Google search, it'll probably be like, oh, their headquarters is in so-called Pennsylvania Corporation. So then you go to Dunes and Bradstreet, put this so-called name of the corporation and then the so-called state, and it'll come up with all the so-called corporations that are listed under that specific state, and if it's a single location or headquarters, because you want to send it to the headquarters. Even though if you send it to the so-called single location, notice the agent is notice the principal. All you're required to do is notify. It is their responsibility to know when they get documents that's not even addressed to them as a corporate being. If it has her on there, it has to be sent to either her or whoever is in that position. At the, I think that's the mayor of Washington. These are all Washington locations because that's where the seat of the corporation is, the headquarters of the so-called United States Service Corporation. Since everybody incorporates underneath that, that's the head, right? So Nancy, I did give y'all that. Nancy Berryhill, doing business as administrator of the United States Governmental Service Social Security Administration. So that's gonna go in the 2 in brackets. Do y'all have it? Do y'all have them in front of y'all? I will put it here. Nancy, you won't do this in all caps, y'all. Berryhill, doing business as administrator.
Oh, we got to mail it to her too? I thought we just put it up there.
You can email it to her if you want to.
Okay.
You don't have to send it in your mail. Notification. Nancy Berryhill, doing business as administrator of, I don't want to abbreviate, so I guess I won't. United States Governmental Social Security Administration. So I'm going to put Social Security Administration, but when you put it in your lien, spell all that out. That's where you put the 2 in. So here on this document that y'all might have in front of you, it actually shows it. But you want to also put Nancy Berryhill. We put natural beings on stuff because the corporations are the fiction. That's why it's in brackets.
Oh, I didn't put her email address up there though.
Well, if you did, that's fine. Email it to her.
What's her email address?
Right there if you read.
Mayor Burial Bowser.
Oh, I don't have her email address. Sorry, my bad. I don't have hers.
Damn, that means I gotta mail it.
Or you can go check to see. I don't think she has an email address. this one. Mail it.
I know. 14 Federal Reserve notes.
You ain't gotta send it 14 Federal Reserve notes. You can send it in an envelope. Y'all gotta think about around stuff. You can send there, but like, okay, you can go to Facebook group, blah, 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 in the file section and download your own lien there. You can do that. And that's one page. It's 42 cents.
55 cents, right.
Or
right.
tax per cube. That's the way you do it. So we got the 2, right? Everybody got the 2. And then right under the 2, you got the CCs. So Mary Browser, Recorder of Deeds, Office of Tax and Revenue at the DC headquarters. I didn't put the whole mailing location because it's on the template for the lien. It's already there. Just add this, this, and this. Huh?
I don't think this the form you're talking. It don't look the same.
It is the same.
Where you at?
I'm right here. And this is where you're gonna put it. This is where you're gonna put.
This gotta be red.
No. This is gonna be. That's where you're gonna put Nancy Berry Hill doing business as right there. Write it right now.
Right here.
Yes.
Okay.
All caps.
All caps.
Yeah, all caps. I like to write in proper English, y'all, but sometimes I be messing up. So in this particular lien, it has the actual mailing location for her. Do I have to write it down? Do y'all get this? Are we here? Write it down. Get it done. Chill. That's why you shouldn't have those long nails because you can't type fast.
Who's the one you have on Facebook?
I've been telling y'all we got work to do. You ain't got time to be looking all pretty. I'm just saying.
You want us to send the one you have
I'll be like,
on
don't you think?
Facebook?
I'll be like,
The affidavit on Facebook, not these.
So this is when you.
it's kind of the same. That you don't like the last page. There's the first page. And that's where this is all. So if you want to write it in to make it easier, so that's right there. That's wrong right there. That mailing location. But you got it. Just write on there. Right on there.
Go back. Go to the search and type in a affidavit, and then supposed to come up.
All right. Did everybody get this little piece? Did they take a photo? Something?
No.
Yeah, that I had.
You didn't get it? And y'all should be writing it in the sample y'all have so y'all can transfer it to the actual template that if we didn't get a sign-in sheet, I'll just mail you the updated version.
So
Somebody just
else to put
get
in.
everybody sign-in sheet.
Only thing I had to put in was her name since it's up here, right?
Did you read that? That's what you put in there. Why you making things so complicated?
Everything, like Mary, that's already there. So only had to
Yeah, you gotta put her, and then you're gonna add doing business as
I
administrator.
thought you said for Nancy.
Are you reading the board?
Yeah, so I'll say I didn't have
You
to
gotta
type
be
that
hot.
in.
Here. That's where we at.
So I got her
My brain hurts.
here.
Hmm?
So erase this.
No, that's the copy. That's gonna be the standard place you're gonna send all the liens. That's standard. The only thing that's gonna change is who you are leaning and what you are leaning. Is everybody on the first page of the lien document?
Yes.
The first page of the lien document, because that looks like the last page.
So one more
Yes.
question. Where does that information go back on here?
Nice, no worries.
I don't.
Looking at it.
And now it goes down here. Where her information go?
You need a piece of paper here. Use this one.
But I still can't see where her information goes at on here. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Why are you making my life difficult? You're gonna put Nancy Berry Hill,
That's there.
space, doing business as administrator of the United States Governmental Social Security Administration.
So erase this.
No, just add it in there.
Next to her name?
Bring it to her next time, okay? I keep telling you, I ain't messing with y'all. Mom, because you know what she would have did? She's like, here, just give it here. Just give it here, Mom. Just give it here. And she'll be doing it right now. It's hot in here. All right, does everybody got that written down? And if you got your laptops, you should be writing it in. Are you writing it in your sample? You writing it all in? You wrote all this down as a 2? The mailing location, everybody got that piece right here?
This needs to be the master template, correct? Is that where you went?
Hmm?
The affidavit of UCC 100% master template?
Yep, that's it.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Here's the actual document
I
attached.
didn't.
You're downloading it. Now you have specific things that is gonna open it up. Okay. So you're proving that nothing's wrong with the document because it's just came up.
Okay.
Once it comes out.
So we're proving there's nothing wrong with it. Anybody says it is, it's
No,
wrong
it's
because
operator error usually.
there it is.
I already know that. That's why I'm paying more in the way.
Yeah, operator error. Go get your kid.
There it go right there. See, you got the most recent one that had, no, this isn't the most recent one because it doesn't have the, it doesn't have the email addresses, but Nancy would go where you see corporation to be named.
Right.
That's where this information right here would go.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you.
And then underneath it would be the mailing location, which is this. I'm raising this over here. I'll do this. The mailing location for the Social Security Administration is 300 Big Elk. 300 Big Elk Mall.
Elton, Maryland.
Elkin, Maryland.
ELTON. Maryland.
There you go. The United States Service Corporation is complicated. Maryland too.
All of the so-called states are hypothecations because they're in capital letters. Because it's a republic.
It's ELTON.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm gonna get started on all
I got Elkin. Where do you get Elkin?
Oh wow. I got
Oh, you messing me up?
So I'm not sure. I'm
I was
just reading what's there.
Well, we can check the Dunes and Bradstreet by looking up the number. You can check the Dunes and Bradstreet by looking up United States Governmental Social Security Administration under the so-called state of Maryland, and it should give you the headquarters. That's the way to validate it. Are we still on Facebook Live? Mm-hmm. To validate all this information. Because keep in mind, when you looked at, it's a 96, when you looked at GMI, it had thousands upon thousands of corporations. Because they moved, they changed, some get closed, other ones get sparked open. It changes all the time. Where the mailing locations are and different things because they're trying to hide from you. So that is the mailing location that goes under the corporation that's being liened, which right now is the United States Governmental Social Security Administration. And most of these documents are pre-filtered, so most of the direct, huh?
At 1300 D Street in Washington.
No, that's bad. Just cross that out. Just put in this information.
So that
Huh? That mailing location goes right underneath here. Right here in the space. Right underneath. Mm-hmm. Yep. So where we at? Everybody filling their stuff in? Because next week, y'all better have finished products. And the reality is y'all got 7 days before the next class and they should already be out in the mail. That's why I want to go through the whole thing now.
I started the list for you to, or even I'll go on Facebook and download it, but I started the list you said.
Oh, so people can get, because I can send you, yes.
Okay.
That's ELTON, right?
ELKTON, Elkton.
I don't know where y'all getting the T from. She messed it up with the T. Now everybody thinks it's a T.
It is Elkton. It's no Elkton.
Well,
it's Elkton.
Where'd you say it? Where you check it? Did you validate it? Huh?
Oh, you just know it.
Oh, you
Yeah,
just
but
know
not
based
from
because
there.
of Maryland?
Yeah,
you live
because
there.
I'm from there.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So it's ELKTON. So did they put that in there so it
Oh, it's
won't get to where it
Elkton?
goes?
Elkton.
Oh, there's a K and a T.
So it's Elkton Road.
Elkton, Maryland.
I meant
Elkton,
L
Maryland.
ELKTON.
Ton.
Mm-hmm. Maryland.
Elkton, Maryland.
Okay.
So that's just the stop. That's just the top. So you know who you're leaning, who the lien is for, what corporation it's for, and the CC company. So that's just the first section. We didn't even get to 1, 2, and 3.
I'll print this out. Well, just stay in there.
You wanna complete it first before you print it. That's why we send it in Word format.
And here? Mine's not working. I don't know what to do.
Well, that's a PDF. You're not going to be able to adjust it. I showed you the PDF version.
Right. Alright, so I'm kind of stuck now.
You're not stuck. You just can't do nothing on your computer. You got Word on your computer, on your phone. Because if you don't have Word on it, it's not going to come up under Word. It's going to use the best app that closely resembles it.
Don't think so. I'm gonna have to buy a new. I'm gonna have to buy a computer.
Hey Sharon, if I get the file, I'll make it in the editable PDF so we can just fill it out.
I'm going to send you that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I gotta buy a computer.
Because there's certain information, and the only reasons why it takes so much thought process to do the PDFs, because certain information has to be changed.
Right.
So you got to know where you want to change it, or it's not gonna. You know what I'm saying? So once you PDF it, I gotta read it and make sure everything can be manipulated that needs to be manipulated.
Okay.
That's the only reason why I don't do it. That's why I do it in Word.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't have Word. Because a lot of people have the generic operating systems and the programs that come with their phones and their computers, which might be Google apps, and those apps people don't use them. Not in corporations. All corporations use Microsoft, and that's Word, Excel.
They have a free version. It's called Open Office.
Open Office. You got a free version of it?
Yeah. You can just download it on any device. It's like Open Office, or I'll look it up.
That's not Microsoft.
No, it's not Microsoft.
That's something else. Yeah.
You can change it to a doc file.
And if you do change it, it's going to mess with your settings and all of the other bells and whistles in the document. And some things might not convert over, which is why some people's document looks different than the actual template, because when they downloaded it into their program or software, if it didn't have that specific, let's say, font, it translated into the most closest thing that they had. And that's why I'm trying to tell people to download the Word, but you can have Jimmy rig people with the Microsoft Office. But Office, at one point, Office wasn't charging you for this software. Now all of a sudden, everything upgrades every 3 years and you gotta spit. Man, I was like, they just tripping. Because I've always had Microsoft.
Well,
Since,
you remember they had that class action lawsuit that it was being placed on all the computers for free, so they considered that to be a monopoly.
Yeah, they probably could replace it on the computer, but then you only had like a...
No, you remember at one time it was on all the laptops, all the computers.
And then you got all these other companies coming out.
Yeah, they were sued for the monopoly, so now it's like, it's a choice, and now you gotta pay for it.
It's crazy, right? Like, you got a choice, you gotta pay for it, and then you gotta keep it updated. And it's ridiculous, it really is. This internet nonsense is really annoying.
They give you Facebook.
Has anybody done this so I can get to the next part?
They don't give you Facebook. You know how much of your data is taken from Facebook?
But they ironically had a breach the other day, all them hours, you're right. What was NSA setting up?
So the next section on the lien is the from section. Moorish American Consulate is what the pre-filter is, but you can change that to you. To either whatever your Moorish American national appellation is. You can change that there. So for mine, it's the Moorish American Consulate, the Moorish National Republic Federal Government, and it has me and my mailing location and everything there. But that's where you're changing that from me to you. So you're gonna put whoever you are, your appellation, y'all. And then your mailing location in its proper form. The way he posted it up earlier. So that's the from section. Then you got a whole bunch of law we're not going to go over because you need to read this document and look up all of the information, because it is a part of your training and education.
Should our appellation be red? Put that in red. Put the appellation in red. Or it could be in black.
What?
The appellation.
Oh yeah, you can put it in black or red, don't matter. Because when you sign in red. And then you have under UCC financing statement, following instructions. The A section has name and phone number of the filer. You are the filer, so you're gonna put your appellation there where it says Moorish American Consulate. Are y'all all in agreement? Are you watching?
You said A, right?
Y'all got that, A? You see it? Good. And then the email address is your personal email address for notification. Make sure y'all give them an email address that works and that you check. Acknowledgement can be to the consulate, can be to whoever, can be to yourself. So if you want to put yourself there, just put yourself there and see where it says send acknowledgement. And now we're getting down to debtor's name. Section 1. Section 1A, organization's name, that's where you're going to put your nom de guerre, the so-called name in all caps that you were born with, under section 1A. Y'all see that under 1A, organization's name? Y'all see that section?
So that's the name on your
the birth certificate.
Okay.
Would it be fair to say these put out a lien
Well, that's a 501c3. So it's not an actual temple. It's an incorporated, dissolved of its lawful allodial status. It's a corporation underneath this the service corporation. So it's yes. So you're gonna lien it because it's trying to act as if it's something that it's not.
So you can name?
Yeah, because it's a 501c3. It's a corporation. That's a good question. Should you? Should you lien something that has a 501c3 registration under the so-called straw, which is why they don't do any of the activities that they are charged to do? It's a good question. I think I said this last week. I ain't doing it because I'm busy. Moors. Should we lien the Moor Science Temple that's incorporated with a 50c1 under the Service Corporation, who is not doing its charge because of that relationship? Should they be leaned out of business because they are presuming to be something that they're not? Here's the part where Moors,
They're not in business.
right? They're acting like the temples, but they're not doing the temple work. Should we do that, Moors?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can a person who calls himself a sheik and a grand sheik, who's not teaching any of this, and not, well, y'all saw that little grid that we had, the little house and all that. Y'all saw all that. And not doing their charge, should you lean them out of business so they can't even act like it?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I would think we need to.
I would say yes.
Start at home.
I would say yes. We like one person wanted to complain about mortgage organizations because, like, look, I be calling y'all, but like, okay, did you get your grid done? What are you calling me for? Everything's on Facebook. Everything is there. If you have an issue, you got Moors that can answer a question. All you gotta do is ask it on the group. They'll answer it immediately. Well, where's the 7 locations? I can't find it. Did you look at the file section? I'll tag you. They do all that in the group. It's right there. Join the group so you can be a benefit to your nation and vice versa. And we can stop complaining like we ain't all responsible.
They didn't text me back.
We all responsible. So don't sit here like if you come to these classes, you got access to all these Moors. But if you're just sitting in your home on the computer, well, you got to go to Facebook groups and the file sections. You got to go to all of the different venues and all of the different platforms. But the reality is, we're supposed to learn the things that we've learned on social media and bring them home to teach the community so we can lift them up. Because after some point, you got to get off the social platform and start talking to your brothers and sisters in the community.
Yeah, the council needs to do the business of the government.
That's exactly what it is doing. Because who's the government?
We
are. Who's the sovereigns?
We are.
And why we acting like we ain't?
Why we ask questions?
Why we asking questions, right? So, okay, 1A. 1A is organization name. Does it say name?
Yes.
Organizations.
And underneath that, you're going to put what? Your straw. as it appears on the birth certificate, and you're going to make those. Okay.
Oh my God.
So you're going to
I
say.
hope it didn't just do. I'm gonna come back up there. Well.
That's there. That's the straw man name in all caps under 1A organization name.
We can also read the birth
It
certificate.
came back on the left and right, looked like it was.
What is the birth certificate?
Security.
Did you watch the LIEN video? No, not the LIEN video. The affidavit video. No. This is what this is representing. You're leaning a straw. The birth certificate and the social security number is what? What are they? The social security is like the serial number to track the birth certificate. The business, just like else. I bet you if you put your abortion name, it might come up. It may. Might. If you go and look up Dunes and Bradstreet, is it Dunes and Bradstreet? The DMB? The DMB? And you know people's strong, you put it in, and you put a mail in, okay, just test it. You'll get people in there. They are corporations. And the birth certificate was the establishment of it. The social security number was the tracking mechanisms to track its progression and where it's at any particular day. So that's exactly what we're doing with the affidavit UCC1, straw man, and social security, and that's what we're doing. We're stopping that from rolling around and people tapping into your state. That's what we're stopping. This is all a part of nobody being able to hypothecate your estate. Stopping all avenues of hypothecation. This was the biggest one because when you fill out documents, they use them, monetize them, sell them, while giving you absolutely nothing. Because the reality is you shouldn't even have been going to them for anything. That's our error, which started with those 501c3s acting like they was doing business. They was doing our allodial stuff and they wasn't doing anything for us. No, you ain't got no questions. 1A organization name is STRAWMAN. That's the first place. And then under additional names. Y'all see that section that says additional names? Y'all gonna put derivatives of this. The many derivatives this is. And some of those is what?
Oh, Mary.
Backward. Sharon.
See.
What's another derivative? Could be a dot there. This missing. There's 1,001 derivatives, and that's why we say in any other derivatives, but we put some of them there. And there's for this one is Sharon T. Gale, Sharon Gale, Sharon Tracy Gale, all spelled out. S.T. Gale, S.T. Gale. There's a bunch of different derivatives. That's where you're going to put under the additional names. Y'all got that?
I have a question. I'm not sure. So, if you were married and divorced, you put both names.
If you were married and divorced, those are all other documents in thingy. So, but in the main one, this is what you came here with. Well, this was established when you came here, and then you put all the derivatives there. Anything if you got married and now you got marriage bank bonds, you're gonna put all those derivatives here too. You ain't gotta create new ones for this. Just put it in the derivatives. All right. I mean additional names and initials. So that's where you're gonna put under 1A in additional names and then.
Can you do this with somebody that's deceased?
Yep. Yes. Because the United States makes a killing for more when you're dead.
I know my mother got a hell of a list. I like to kill all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And your grandmother and your grandfather.
I don't know their names. Well, I
And
know
Social
my
Security,
grandfather.
but you could probably go to the
Didn't have Social Security.
vital.
Some did. My mom did. She's 83.
You might have to go to the county. The county probably got all that information. Or the
But
hospital.
my mom's mother
did.
did. And she was 94. A couple years ago she died. So, I mean 99. 99. A couple years ago she died. So
No, that's fine.
Some
Keep
people still
that-
have
keep
it.
everything. All you're changing is this. You're gonna cross that. Yes. All you're changing is the red stuff.
My father's family, I don't know.
Y'all got that? 1A.
And cousins.
Yes, but do you first. Do you first. Like, y'all gotta get y'all stuff in order first. Because they are supposed to be doing their own stuff. And you do everybody who's under you, your heirs and stuff. But your sister, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, they supposed to be doing this. We shouldn't have to do this for them. But we will, but we're gonna do us first. And you just title up all the land that your tribe is on. So if anybody else tries to hypothecate it, you can come in there and speak for them.
Yeah.
But you're gonna claim it under you because they're not nationals. So when you go in there, be like, no, that's mine. You have no claims to it.
Now here, what's that? 2A. It says organization's name.
Well, we was getting there now.
Oh, okay.
So we were just at 1A. Y'all got that done? Because next week this gotta be done, y'all. I'm not coming back here. All right.
1C. Oh, no mind.
2.
Well, real quick before we get to 2, 1C address, current address, don't worry about past address.
Oh, 1C is where you domicile.
Thank you.
Or whatever mailing location. If you got P.O. box, you put that there. Thank you for bringing that up. You want to put that there.
And you put in the brackets, correct?
Here, because it's a property name, you're just putting it in as it's as it is. So it's in all caps. That's it. Because that is a corporation. You put the corrections up top when you put your Moorish appellation and you put your mailing location in proper context.
Oh, so you don't
bracket that part.
Oh, okay.
So organization, so part 2, where it's debtor's name. 2A organization name, same thing. Here you're going to put United States Social Security number, and then you're going to put the Social Security number, followed that with the dashes. You got that?
Got it.
Y'all got 2A? You see how simple this GM thing is?
You said with that?
No, just put it with the dashes because it's the debtor. Without the dashes, it's the creditor.
Right. You don't want to. You said you. So 2A, you just put.
Lien what? The creditor? You the damn creditor. What do you mean? Put your mailing location.
What if you got 2 SIPs?
Well, that means you did more things. Huh? Cusick? Can we start? Can we just do the straw man lien? Let's get this one done. So y'all got United States Social Security number and then the actual number with the dashes under 2A. All caps.
Wait a minute.
You good? That means it's gonna get done for you and for her, and then you're gonna tell Chase to do his.
So for the name stuff, United States, what?
United States Social Security number and then the social number with the dashes. You got it? Y'all got 2A?
No.
Nope. I feel like Robin trying to type it in while she's doing it. She knows she types slow. Wait for you. Did you? Are you still on 1C?
Excuse you?
Stop always trying to look to be all mad.
Not you.
I know exactly who you was talking to. I know exactly who you was talking to.
And we ain't having them share medical.
She was like, I'm mad at you now, so anyway, I'm just gonna be mad. So y'all got United States Social Security number, all caps, and then the non-de-gear. I'm sorry, the social with the dashes. And then under 2, then the mailing location, which should be the same as the one up top. So nothing changed. Nothing changed. Ain't that cool? See how easy that is? And then when you do different corporations, it's the same.
And the mailing location is all the same.
Yep, that's the yep. I can see babies running down the hall. My Lord.
This is surnames. Oh, you haven't got to 2 yet.
Yeah, we had 2.
Okay.
Where you at?
I'm looking at 2.
2 what?
2B.
2B, you leaving that empty.
And leave that empty.
Only 2A. Only 2A and 2C.
I'll tell you where you're at. Yep, just so you know.
You understand number 4?
Right.
So you leave 2B empty?
Yes.
But keep in mind though,
even in part to say any other worship name leave empty?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so that stuff they made up was just. Okay. That makes sense because they only count
No, I don't have the form, but I'm going to print it, so I just want to.
You're gonna, you gonna take that one and make some copies?
Am I going to make some copies for you?
That's right.
Yeah.
No, what I'm going to do.
I would like to keep my old one.
This yours?
Yeah.
No, I just put leave empty right there.
No, I just, okay, so you got one thing. I'll give you a later. You are planning on taking one with you, right?
580.
580.
These things are so out of order.
But that is the correct form, right? So I won't have to, okay, because I'm.
And don't forget, we said after we do this, we want to talk about the right to travel.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna be on Facebook Live.
Oh, okay.
Because my non was going to do that. I'm gonna have him do that. I might have a meeting with him so we can get it done. This is everybody. I'm gonna get you all the information if you don't give me your Gmail account. I probably got all your emails anyway. You gonna stop saying with me, my yard.
Exactly. So we just gonna call.
This whole time I ended up with my yard.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
My yard. You gonna sit here front? I'm sitting here like what?
Yeah, we're back.
We've been constantly Ooh, this is so hilarious. I have to say, man. How many consoles we got?
I was there. I told you
Crazy.
I was there last week.
Yeah. Is that where you did the class?
Yep.
Yes. You did 2, right?
That's Louisville. That's Louisville the week before.
All over the place.
The week after that was.
You drove up with them?
3 days.
Oh. I'm about to say 10 hours. I'm like, look, I'll meet y'all there. Bye.
I can't stay that long.
So we got 3 console commissions, right? 3?
Yeah.
All right, we can get that done today.
All right.
As soon as
They got a lot of contacts. They got a lot of
we
support.
do. That's all I'm about, man.
Solid connections. Mario on them. They got Mr. 30. They got a lot of connections.
What would you call it? Becca, M is used, C is used, K is used. Well, what letter y'all want? Y'all gotta pick another letter.
All right. So M is used.
M is used and so is C.
What we what we gonna call our consulate? She said M is used. So M
For
is
recording.
used.
For recording.
All of us looking.
I'm a reserve W.
Huh?
I'm a reserve W.
No, W's West already used.
Oh,
No, I'm in West.
Get all these names.
Can we can't use M at all, like MAC.
No, because it's all tied. It's one letter for the so-called territory.
Gotcha.
Because it's Moorish American Consulate, and then it's M for Mid-Atlantic. Darius took that one.
Got you.
Because I know you want M for Mecca. I know. But it's going to be in the title anyway. So
That's right.
It don't even matter.
They can't have ME?
No, because it's 4 letters and then 9 digits.
I got
Thank you.
It's G.
That's for.
G ain't used.
Great, because it's the Great Lakes area.
There you go. The great barrels of Mecca. And it's used.
Put your face.
G is available. Mecca.
Now mean that. Fix your face. I don't care about them.
You have to use
Well, you can use G.
Not be playing. Never be
G.
playing
The
on
Great
no
Lakes
damn
area.
Ask you stuck. Then what you want
Yeah.
to do?
Where y'all from? G. Oh, that's Great Lakes.
That's Great Lakes. They use G.
We'll do G.
I like G.
Great Lakes.
Great Lakes. There you go. So what's going to be the whole, what y'all going to name it? What is it?
Because it's fire.
So who
We
the
still
console?
like that. So that could be in our top.
Okay, call it that. Call it.
Great Lakes and Mecca.
Call it Great
Great
Lakes.
Lakes, period.
Mecca, a Mexico territory?
Yeah.
Mecca, a Mexico. I
Stop
like it.
running around, okay?
Look, y'all.
Great
I
Lakes
love
and
it.
Mexico.
Great Lakes of Mexico.
Yes.
Hey, y'all like with it. Y'all let me know what y'all like.
Great Lakes of
I like that.
Well, I didn't
like
say that. I said Great Lakes.
Excuse me.
She said Great Lakes.
Did you say great?
Well, I
What
like
is it?
both.
Which
Okay,
one?
Great Lakes
of
You
Mexico.
want Great Lakes of Mexico?
we just dropping the
Wait a minute, where y'all putting Mecca in there? Y'all can take the Mecca out. How y'all taking Mecca out?
This says Great Lakes of Mecca. Mexum.
Great Lakes of Mexum, because then it covers the whole, still, you know.
Covers the whole area.
Because so many people in guaranteed Louisiana be reaching you, because there may be relatives of somebody who's up there where you are.
Yeah.
People in California and Texas trying to reach me. I heard nothing to do with all this.
Like the idea of Great Lakes, too, what that does is that covers a
Wisconsin,
large area to
yeah.
get those people that are over here.
Michigan.
But I like the Mecca because that's who we are.
All right.
So how about
So great.
Mecca, Great Lakes?
All right.
So that way we're
Oh, Mecca.
I like
and
it.
Great Lakes.
Mecca, Great Lakes, the Mexum.
Yes.
I like it. Write that down
Yes.
so you know what it is.
It's got a nice ring to it.
It has a lovely ring to it. Let's scribe it.
We are.
Well, I'm a consul.
Oh, thank you.
Those brothers you're going to run into is going to say we're all consuls. No, in the appointment, you got
Oh, I've been messing up that fast.
Mecca, Great Lakes to Mecca.
That truly works.
Oh yeah, no joke.
Mecca,
Mecca, Great Lakes,
I'm about to go hit some of them European Virginians. You know, they've been in constant. I can't get the word out. They've been dug in for a long time. Let me put it like that.
Well, the Liens will start doing it. Because
I love it.
they use it all the time. Just
It's your Appalachians. Come on, let's get those Appalachians on the record.
my aunt Mary's son.
My aunt. Let me tell you, my aunt be all over social media. I'm telling you. When I said I had to read this, like, that's Mecca back there?
Somebody here sells them, and I just bought one.
And who's next to my aunt?
Mariko Kwame L.
Say it again?
Mariko Kwame L.
Mariko Kwame L.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you're Appalachian.
Israel Amaria L.
Do I know because you be bugging me? Is that why I know
Well, in actuality, when you did, I was the one that also sent, when you were looking for representations for the MIG, the Moorish Imperial Guard.
Ooh,
I
yes.
sent you a
Yes.
logo,
You were the one.
And with the, as far as the embossers, I also sent you another version that you could send to the stamp maker, that their computers would understand the language and print the logo better when you
For the stamp?
For the Great Seal.
For the Great Seal?
Yes.
Well, have you done that yet?
I already sent it to you. Like
To
a
me?
couple of weeks ago.
Well, I mean, to stamp maker.
I did.
Because you know we can go, because we're going to go to other areas because Moors have been flooding them crazy.
Right.
So now they're like, look, y'all, I'm getting in trouble over here with my ambiance.
Right.
I can't do this anymore for you. I think they just can't handle the flow.
So what I
They
did is
told
I
me.
actually got mine
My name's
done.
on the list, they told me. I'm sorry.
So we got.
I actually got mine done through like simplystamps.com. Like literally, I just sent it off to
Who?
somebody else.
Oh.
Simplystamps.com. They actually had where you can get an embosser and the stamp where you can do for your treaty seals and stuff like that. They do like a combo deal together, and it's like, I don't know, $50 or something like that.
That's pretty cool. Y'all all got y'all's? All three?
Well, we share the embosser right now, and because we know we need a lot of other supplies and things that we're going to need, so we're kind of trying to work everything together.
Okay.
Look all up, but that's what we're doing.
I love it. I love it. So, do y'all have copies of y'all stamp?
What do you mean?
The seal. You talk about the Great Seal, right?
The Great Seal. I don't have the actual embosser.
And it is the
But
pyramid.
It is the seal. It's the pyramid. It's the pyramid with the circle and everything with all the points of the gates.
Okay.
And what it is that when we like when you're trying to scan something in to do the 3D rendering is what that computer is trying to do, and so it's so much detail in the Great Seal that it all just bundles up together. So what I had to do is I had to do the same scanning process that they did, then go through and edit all of the elements in there to reduce some of the haze down so that it's clearer. Now I did, before you requested me to do that, because I just wasn't going to touch any governmental document or whatever until I had permission. I did a reduced version of it, sent that off, and that's the seal we've been using, and it actually does look pretty clear.
Oh, I like
and so
that.
then after you kind of asked me to do it, I was like, well, that's like permission, so let me go in here and go do what I need to do. And so I said,
You are a sovereign in your own right as well. Don't need no damn permission from me, but go ahead.
But that's why that one that I sent you guys, and I'll send you another one if you need it or whatever, but that one will give you a much more clear impression where you'll see, more.
Wait a minute, were you the one that Light spoke to a couple weeks ago?
He likes to distract you and stop you in the middle of
No,
your
no,
call.
he said
the damn.
No,
He was sitting here talking, he probably lost it.
Yeah, he's bringing it back.
Well, no, but everything that's in the bundle as far as the words and everything are all going to be there. They'll show the details, even the inside the banner where it says the Great American Moorish Nation, all of that, everything you can see clearly, even the rays from the eyes coming out.
I love it. I can't wait to see it. And then I'm gonna order mine from the place.
Simplysteps.com.
Okay, I have a bunch of consoles that need one, and they're all hassling me.
Oh no,
Sharon,
there's no way.
where's myself?
The only thing they do, I think I got it within 5 days. Like literally, it was not.
It doesn't take that long. So I don't understand why they have issues because they only have to change that little plate that's in there.
So you can finally get one too.
They know that they're going to be responsible for. If you're not happy with the turnout, then they're expecting that you're going to demand a refund. So that's what the whole thing is about. Okay. So when you send it to them, just go, look, I'm already aware of the issues that you may have. I accept it. You just print it. And then, okay. And so they do it. It came out. Worked out.
Okay.
No problem.
Perfect. We're going to team up after this class, which is about to end because when we don't never go this long. We be like, all right, bye, y'all. Bye Facebook Live at 1 o'clock. We normally do that every time. So we got 3 done, right? Are we done?
No, we didn't get 3 done.
Oh, I was trying to get off the subject. 3 is the secure first party creditor, which is you. Gotta do that.
All of the businesses that are around us, and all the police, and the churches. I could care less because they're the ones that are doing they must be addressed. It's nowhere.
Article 3 of the
right here.
What's that? Verona Tree.
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah.
Tiger.
Number 3.
Y'all know Tiger? Everybody knows Tiger.
We love you.
Tiger is hilarious.
Yeah.
Read the appellation. That's where you put you
all the
at.
time, but we didn't know that was you.
Just like my accent, you're trying to sneak up in here, and that's my accent.
Yeah, we know. We know.
He be on it.
We know.
You should see his briefs.
You texted to me the
Oh, Miss Ferris.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I was telling you. I'll tell you how to get.
Yeah.
So 3A.
Yeah, all right.
Where it says organization.
All right.
3A. You're gonna do under 3B, which is appellation, and that's where you're gonna put your appellation.
Only because.
And then 3C is your mailing location, and that's where you're gonna put it in proper context.
And then live stream, I can't do it, so I just come here.
So do you write your March appellation twice on 3A and 3B?
No, you're only gonna put it on 3B. Because you're not an organization name.
No, I was
No, you're putting your proper appellation.
No.
For 3A,
yeah,
but location.
Leave blank.
No, that's mailing location is care of in proper context. It's right there, ain't it? It should be in there already.
I am, but not as a consulate.
So you want to say C/O and then the care of your mailing location.
And it wasn't north.
So mailing location.
You got it?
No, 3C, mailing location, our domicile.
No, that's your mailing location. Or
in the bracket.
Postal post office box in the bracket.
Okay, in the bracket.
And I mean worse than atomic. Maybe it's something high. This is people are thinking. You can tell right away it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's just showing you that that's mailing location. That's supposed to be in black. But this is the old document. This one has the proper context. So the mailing location is care of your mailing location, just like you put up top.
You have another copy of this?
Here's one right here.
Okay, he needed a copy.
Figure out how that's going on. Just all, I don't know why it don't have no numbers on it, no page or what.
They charge them.
That's the old one. But the first page is the 2. That's the first page.
See, because they separated.
That's not
and because they the gold standard in 1933,
here's the second.
they don't really exist. So really,
That
this
one,
will wipe them out.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's gold, it's back, gold, back, off, and tender. So be any amount, 10 billion per billion, 35 to 100 zeros, you have to shut down.
Okay.
And the ones that want to shut down,
I think
I'm
that's
putting
it.
billion per billion.
Yeah.
1,000 zeros. Yeah, 40, 50, yeah, whatever.
You just gotta say care of. That's under 3C.
Yeah.
The 2 is
That
for
works,
the
man. Give me some upgrades. This time is all stuff down. Give me all your assets. So, yeah.
I need to write it down.
And all these prisons, oh man, it's big business. I'm going after these prisoners. They threw me in prison for 26 days. 26 days. Because somebody was driving and they flee, and I'm being blamed for their crimes.
What?
Oh, y'all gonna pay for this. You don't throw people in prison.
We're here. We're here.
Trying to get a ride. You can't blame yourself.
That's right.
You can't, and they stalked her. So they were wrong on top of that.
Excuse me, Robin.
That's right.
Robin, sit her little butt down. Oh,
Right,
sit down.
they were wrong
I don't know
about her.
where,
'Cause
we're
they
here. I
stalked
don't know
her.
where you at.
They followed her, and then they
I
decided
don't know where
they stalked
agriculture
her.
part is.
They stalked her. So they were wrong to begin with.
Okay.
They stalk us more. Period.
Oh, so this doesn't.
All the shit from back in the 1960s, slaves, that shit didn't fucking change. The same
Okay,
shit.
so without the United States is down here, that's
Without the United States of America, yes, okay. And then we got down to 4, which is collateral, and that is.
They were like, oh, you're a
She already had those in
You
there.
just flipped over your whole head. He's like, oh, you must have been a special nigga.
She added some more CCs in here.
I know. It was a movie that came out where it was just making
Chango? Oh, that one?
Black Knight. It was kind of futuristic or whatever.
Well,
Only thing you'll be changing after that is going to be just really just one and section 1 and section 2. Section 6 will always be you, which is your more chapter. So you can some of the words that down in collateral. Sometimes, but right now you just don't.
I do. Do you know the document that sometimes Taj brings up where it says that, in order for you not to be a Moor, you have to prove that you're not a Moor?
That's the letter. That's the letter from, I have that. It's a letter from the Charged Affairs to the U.S. Department of State. They laid it out. That letter is
How it is.
So,
Okay, she already got off the tax revenue tracker, but she just added the email address, okay?
your job, any that challenge you, challenge your nationality? Is anyone, all right, have you ever experienced any agency say that you're not a Moor?
Yes.
No.
So what I'm saying, what's the?
You know, I have people that say, I ain't no, I don't.
No, I'm talking about agency. I'm not talking about.
No,
Hear me out, but I'm not talking about family.
Okay,
I'm not talking
the
about
recorder
friends.
D, she just
Ken,
added
I'm
the
talking
email
about
right there, so she just added the
talking
email
about jobs,
right there, okay?
agencies. I'm talking about your family, your friends, relatives.
Yeah, she
Talking about
added the email for
agencies.
them, the email
All
for
right, when
the
you file your
recorder
paperwork,
Ds, I put it
have
right
they
there.
come back and
Yeah, I
say
just
to
put it right
you,
here.
excuse me, other man, sir, whatever. You're not a Moor, you're black. Have you ever?
Yes, that's happening to me right now.
No, all right, so that has happened.
Yes,
You have,
it's happening to me right now.
did you take the information out?
So we're gonna just ignore
Right now,
that,
it's
okay?
a case going on right now.
So you took the information out,
And then she put
you
the.
wrote down what they said,
What's
all right,
this,
so
the
what did they say? So you wrote down, are they
I wrote
saying?
down on what?
revenue, she put the email.
On what
right
And
there.
I gave them mad paperwork.
Okay, so
All right,
from
so-
Moorish American
so-
Counseling, this is what you would.
So they say that you, what, so they
you
said,
would put your.
no, I said, what did they say?
your
Oh.
appellation.
Oh, they didn't say anything. They was silent.
All right.
Everything they put on their
You
little
put your
paperwork,
appellation right here.
you know, when I went and got whatever they had on the file, that's when I got to see what they was putting down secretly.
Insert your
You know,
Did
and
you
write it.
rebut?
And then you
Did
put
you
your
rebut it
care
with your own
with the-
affidavits
make
and
sure
writs?
Right.
Yes, I
mailing
have.
location.
All right.
And you got the
Put
tracking?
in with the,
Yes, I have.
make sure you,
Got
just
no
need to
stuff
make
for-
sure.
For judgment.
When they denied your paperwork?
Project
They
manager.
denied the file, the paperwork?
If they did, they're in violation of Rule number 5.
They haven't filed it. They've been keeping it. I don't know what they do with it when I send it to them. But they don't put it on.
You're talking about personality job,
For
what agency
affidavit
you
of
talking
written
about?
commercial
I'm talking about the courts.
Okay.
Oh, of course.
Okay, so the worship name, she
Have you
said
done a notice
Well,
of
they were
removal?
agencies.
your birth name.
Yeah, I didn't know you were talking about it.
Yeah, have you done a notice of removal?
That's right, yes.
Well,
That's where I'm
worship
at now.
name
That's
B
what I was just saying.
is
Did you leave
a
them?
derivative.
Did you leave them?
So what's your birth name?
There's repercussions for them not recognizing
So we're
your
gonna say
nationality.
example.
You have a right to your name, you have a right.
Bernard B.
United Nations Human Rights Proclamation, Article 15, Section 1. Everyone has a right
What
to a
was that?
nationality.
Right.
On United Nations Human Rights Proclamation, United Nations Declaration of
Bernard
Rights of
what?
Child,
Your middle?
1979. Principle 3, everyone has first
You have
a
a
right
middle
to
name?
a child at first have
Okay,
right to
no
name
middle
and
name.
nationality.
No middle name,
All
Murphy.
right?
We're gonna let them doctor.
So you're
Okay.
clarifying for the record that you're
Yeah,
not black.
since you don't have a middle
Clarifying
name.
legal status for the record.
Other worships name.
They violated,
could-
one,
could
first
be
of all,
like
Section
B.
3.
first of all, the violate, they've already committed
See
the
what I'm saying?
violation.
So other
Before
worship
you,
names could be
before
like
you
B.
were even born, before you were even born.
Right.
The violation was already
You
committed.
see what I'm saying?
The United
So that's
Nations,
what
the
she
United
means by
States already
other
committed
worship
a
name.
human rights
The
violation
mailing address,
by
don't
classifying
put
our
this
people
part
as
right
black.
here in caps.
Our people,
Once
people
you
say,
do
well,
not
we
put
hear
in
people
brackets.
say, we call ourselves black. No,
Don't put
no,
it because
I'll
it's
challenge
relating to
anybody.
the straw
I'll
person.
challenge anyone who says
do not
that we
put-
call ourselves black.
That's where you at.
Right?
That's where you at right now.
Only way that could be true. The only way the statement could be true. All right?
Now,
If
debtor's name.
we were already
Put
conscious,
your information in section.
already nationalized,
Right.
conscious,
Right.
functioning as a nation.
Right.
Millions of us, millions are already conscious, already in seats of power, already in seats of power. And we agreed through a plebiscite,
To be.
through a plebiscite, right? And we have polls all over the country.
Yeah.
And then we go through the polls all over the country. Then we say, we check that Moors, all right, are now going to be called black.
Right.
That's the only way it can be true. All right, that's the only way it can be true. If our ancestors were classified as black 200 years, first was Blackamoor, wasn't black. It was Blackamoor. We're skipping a step. It wasn't black.
That mailing address.
It was first Blackamoor.
The mailing address.
So classification was Blackamoor.
The regular mailing address.
Because it didn't come from, it wasn't more, and then that's not called us blacks. It was more, and they put Spanish, and then it was more, then they classified as black or more. And they removed the more, black. So it was black or more was the first classification. Black or more. Right. That's a human rights violation for the United Nations, for the United States to do that. Because they're doing that constructively. Office of Management Budget. They're creating that classification of black, white, Asian, Pacific Islander, right in the center. That's human rights violation.
What article? You said
Article 15, United Nations Human Rights Proclamation, 1948. Article 15, Section 1. Everyone, you have a right to. Everyone has a right to a nationality. Now, Section 2 is colorful. Section 2 is colorful. Why? Why am I saying Section 2? Look it up. Article 1, Article United Nations Human Rights Proclamation, Article 15. United Nations Human Rights Proclamation, Article 15, Section 2 is colorful. Why am I saying it's colorful? Someone ask a question. Can someone look it up and then answer why is it colorful? United Nations Human Rights Proclamation, Article 15, Section 2.
And this right here.
There's two sections. Section 1 is everyone has a right to a nationality. Section 2 is what? Part of Section 2 is colorful. Part of Section 2. Not all, not the whole section. The second part of Section 2 is colorful. No one shall be deprived of nationality. Right? That's part of Section 2. There's another part of Section 2. What is another part of Section 2 read?
I'm trying to get there.
Article 15, United Nations Human Rights Proclamation. Article 15, Section 2. Section 2. No one should be deprived, arbitrarily deprived of this nationality. There's another part after that. There's something after that.
Regarding this is your phone. Is this the cover page?
There we go. The right to change it.
Why is it colorful? Why is it colorful?
Because your nationality does not change.
Exactly. So what they're doing, what the United Nations is doing, is using nationality in the sense of citizenship.
Right.
They interchange nationality and citizenship as though they have the same origin, same meaning, same etymology, and same jurisdiction, and same epistemology.
Okay, this goes right here. Okay.
It is so you can't change your bloodline,
Thank you.
your ancestry, your pedigree, your lineage, your consanguinity, your parentage, your blood. You can't change. So how are they using it?
Okay, this is.
They're using it colorably in the sense of citizenship. 1935, the German Nationality Act. The German Nationality Act in 1935. When Germany nationalized, they wanted to be clear that German, what they did was they defined German in the sense of consanguinity. Prior to that, German had been defined in the sense of, it was used in a political sense. So the German Nationality Act in 1935 made it very clear that German was no longer going to be used in a political sense, but going to be used in the sense of consanguinity. Exactly. So no nationality is powerful. Juali knew exactly what he was doing.
And that's why they try to put the color in there, because they think they're going to just walk in the back door to your nationality when we do away with it. When we don't even claim our own stuff.
We speak it up though. That's the key. That's why you always have one active and not passive Moors, because it takes active Moors to speak up. Because we're rejecting that. But if we don't speak up, what happens? They're going to continue using constructive fraud. With that rate, that 19 race and ethnic standards for federal statistics and administrative reporting. It's called the Race and Ethnic Standards for Federal Statistics and Administrative Reporting. All right, that's OMB, Office of Managing Budget, and that's the Directive Policy, Statistical Policy, Directive number 15. That's that black, white, specific American Indian / Pacific Islander, Asian. That's right. That was established in 1977 by the Office of Managing Budget. That's a human rights violation.
Oh, listen to this. Under that,
race and ethnic standards for federal statistics and administrative reporting, adopted by the OMB, 1977. So they're violations.
And listen to this, y'all. It says the law for the protection of German blood and German honor prohibited marriage and extramarital intercourse between Jews and Germans.
What?
That's the act he's talking about.
That they denied your
Say that
nationality.
again? Which in other words, for us,
They denied your
the
paperwork
Albion woman
based on
and the
your
Majestic.
nationality. That's
Thank you. But I don't keep wanting to beat
Say
that.
that again. Read that again, please.
We're not gonna do that.
I ain't messing with our sons and daughters who choose to align themselves outside of their nation. The law for the protection of German blood and German honor prohibited marriage and extramarital intercourse. So y'all couldn't marry them and y'all couldn't sleep with them between Jews and Germans. Why? Why did they do that? Because they didn't want people without the bloodline trying to claim to be a German.
But you know, that was on the books also in the state of Virginia. And there was a interracial couple that went to court and challenged that, and that's why I
that
think
was under the Christian Black Codes though at the
under
time.
Christian Black Codes, and it was called. And I remember that last name was Lovers or Lovett or something. Lovett.
They talked about that in the what's that movie? They did a movie about that.
Right, and that's why when they won that president case, that they can marry interracial. That's why Virginia has that motto, Virginia for Lovers. It's based off the Lovett case.
So that's probably where all our people who wanted to amalgamate outside their nation, that's where they ran to.
Exactly.
No, actually, it was a boxer movie, and it was in Wisconsin, and he was.
Read up on the German Act of 1935, Moors. I'm gonna read up on it.
Which is a lot. Yeah, it's a total. And also go.
Like Todd said, they weren't Jeremy.
They're bar.
Dylan said, y'all got to go. You not going. You don't want to go?
Okay. Yes, they are. They're active.
Train,
That was so
bus,
powerful.
swim, run, crawl. You ain't Jeremy, you got to get the hell out of Dodge.
That shows that they're.
Okay, so I used it over and over.
They were trying to be supreme on the too.
What they call violence.
We're gonna come off the live feed because for some reason we can't seem to get.
Because she ignored everything I said. So it was like.
I don't even know if y'all on social media.
I was on a whole different,
I'll do Facebook Live later on it.
I wasn't on the right page the whole time.
5 fours on Facebook World because I'm sure my phone's about to die.
And I'm like, this is.
You want to get all you want to get all of them.
Where'd you get that cool little stand, man?
So I'm sitting here thinking I can turn that off. This is a part of an actual. This is part of an actual. Look, where am I at?
Right.